ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this special edition of Focus on Liberia. I call this Chit-Chat with Dennis at the start of campaign on Waterside Road. Well, if you are new to Liberia, you may not know what Waterside Road is, but on the Waterside Road, we talk everything. So today is the official start of the 2023 campaign in Liberia. That's the political campaign for the 2023 elections. How did it go today? What was the start? How are things? What are your feelings towards the start of campaign? We want to be looking at a few things here. Who made a big splash today? Those that are running, just how you feel. We're going to chit chat. You're going to ask me a question, I ask you a question, and if you are there, you want to join the show to chit chat with me, please come on. Today is the official start of campaign, so I thought that I should gather some of my Liberian people together so we can chat. So joining us first is the only lady right now on the panel. Other ladies going to join. That's Glendy Jean Juniors. Glendy, welcome to this chat on the Waterside Road.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Dennis. It's good to be here.
And by the way, Glendy is independent, but Glendy is leaning, I believe, but we'll talk that. Also joining us for this chit chat with Dennis on the Waterside Road is the host of Judah Hard Talk, Y. Michael Gilman. Mr. Gilman, welcome.
Good evening to you, Mr. Ja. It's great to be with you on a very short notice, but I'm excited to be here to discuss issues relative to Mama Liberia independent elections in our country.
Thank you, Michael. Michael is also a We Are supporter, the guy who always say he's digging deeper. Let's see how deep he can go tonight. Let me welcome another We Are supporter, that's Elvis Morris. Elvis, welcome to this chit chat with Dennis on Waterside Road.
Thank you, Mr. John. What a time to be alive. It's exciting. I can't wait.
I am excited as well. Let me welcome Prince. Prince is another independent. If I can get Prince on the screen here. For some reason, Prince is also an independent. Prince, welcome to this chat with Dennis.
Dennis, it's a privilege again to be with you. It's been a while, but I'm glad to be here. But let me set the record straight. As much as I'm independent, I do have a preference in the race. So there are some who watching may not know, and there are some who are part dependent that know which side I'm leaning on. So I will declare that later in the show. Thank you very much.
All right. Can I take a guess of where you're leaning?
Then I'm leaning for the 21st century leadership for Liberia. And the only person that have made the case to me and that have satisfied my curiosity is Alexander Cummings.
All right. We'll see. There is no swimming argument at the waterfront. So we just jump in the water. So we're going to jump in it tonight. Let me welcome Mr. Jimmy Eastman. Jimmy is joining us from the nation's capital. Jimmy, welcome to this chat.
Oh yes, it is. I hope it's juicy. As we saw today, BT open, so it will be interesting. Waiting this year.
Wadi Guata.
Right. We want to welcome all our viewers from across the globe. This is Focus on Liberia, and we are broadcasting from Atlanta, Georgia. Ladies and gentlemen, today was the start of the official campaign 2023, and there's nothing else to begin with. But first of all, let me get your opinion on the start. How was it? How do you feel about it? And what's your feeling? What did you see? And how you think? The start of everything is, the start is very important. So how did each person do? And what's your take on the official start? Let me start with Prince Williams.
Yeah, Dennis, indeed, you're right. The start of everything sometimes is indicative of what it will end up being, give and take, all things considered. When I saw today the different political party and institutions coming out to give a resounding like kick off to this process that is intricate to our democracy, that supposed to tell us what kind of people we are and how we think. I see ourselves from different perspective, and I was kind of not surprised, because I think that's why everybody will have been gearing towards and the primary towards for the past couple of years. But then on the other hand, I must tell you and the listener here, I was taken aback and not surprised, but were very very much discouraged when I seen that the ruling party uh, came out and did something very despicable, something that is that doesn't reflect on our nature as Liberian, in the oldest African republic, carrying casket, which is now is symbolic of if not a precipitate of violence, but it's symbolic of psychological violence, intimidation, and could possibly you know put our process in chaos. So, and they are the steward of this, or supposed to be the one to be a shining example. But other than that, I think every other political party did an incredible good job, and they are enthusiastic, and we look forward to the process. Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you. Let me go to why Michael Gilman. Mr. Gilman, campaign start today. Somebody say, with this start, the equal no pattern. What's your impression on day one?
You know, Mr. Jack, first and foremost, I'm not sure if this broadcast is on Facebook. I looked for it on Facebook. I didn't find it there.
Oh,
Uh,
it is.
I have to find it on
Look on
YouTube.
Liberia first. I put it on Liberia first.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have
it is on Facebook. I'm monitoring on my computer right now.
okay, great. I couldn't get it on Facebook, but you know, I had to laugh. The the issue of casket bearing or toting. Okay, uh, one can only think of two things. One and foremost is that my brother there, Prince Williams, who ran away from GST for over 3 years, it's the first time I'm seeing him on social media for over 3 years interacting, when he could not have defended his candidate, Alexander Benedict Cummings, when he did not know that Alexander Cummings went to demonstration elementary school and went to CWA to graduate. And he insisted that Ellis Cummings graduated from demonstration elementary school as the high school that he
Gilman, what that got
graduated
to
from.
do with the start of campaign
No,
today?
listen. It's not when people are misinformed, they carry it everywhere they go. All right. From the onset, this brother was misinformed about Alexander Benedict Cummings Jr. Or bringing up or upbringing. He did not know that Cummings went to elementary school at demonstration on Clay Street. He thought demonstration was a high school. He did not know that Ellis Cummings graduated CWA. And today he's coming up to say people carrying caskets or coffin are representatives of the CDC, when he cannot independently verify the information. Okay? We know the strategies being implied or applied by the opposition, the small opposition, people who did not prepare for this day. We know their plans, their modus operandis. Okay, so it is not surprising to me that are out of the box. Mr. Williams will come out swinging that seditions carry coffins, and talking about the funeral or demise of the former ruling establishment, Liberty Unity Party. Okay.
Thank you.
Secondly,
Mr. Gilman, I beg your pardon. If we can address it because we are many, we want to just
yeah.
go. Today is
Okay.
the start of the
No,
campaign. I
no
just want you to
problem. No
go straight to the
problem.
point. We'll
No
have
problem.
time for what you're
No,
doing now.
no problem. Let's move on.
Yes, sir. All right. Let me go to Glendy. Glendy, campaign open.
Yeah.
What's your impression of day
I don't
one?
even know where to. I don't even know where to start from. I will say yes. Everybody was outside today. Some of it I was able to watch. Some of it I wasn't able to watch. Everybody was out today. Even representatives, senators. Everybody took advantage of the opportunity that the campaign has started. The second thing is there are no significant things we learned today from any camp. We learned nothing. We just saw people in the rain. Thirdly, what is the takeaway from today is the fact that we saw CDC repeat a despicable act, and they must be called off on it. To take a casket, regardless of what side you're on, to take a casket and put pictures on it of VP Boyka. I'm not a Boyka supporter. I don't support anybody. I'm an independent, but I think that was despicable. And that should be condemned by no matter who. How can you even do that? What are we saying to society when we do that? You have somebody who is alive and you're toting casket around. And then what is synonym of this is after the casket toting, then they make mockery of themselves, saying they're making mockery of God and have a gospel musical concert. Are you kidding me? I think that was the only takeaway today is what was the significance of doing that today? Why would they reopen the wounds? Because when they did that before, people frown on it. And then they come back today and do the same thing and do it about somebody who is alive. I think that was despicable for me. And that was the only takeaway, which was a negative impact I think it should have had on anybody watching them today. I think it was horrible.
Thank you. Mr. Morris, what's your take for today?
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ja. I mean, for those of us, and I think all of us on this platform were intelligent people, we can interpret. My understanding of it was that, I don't agree with the way they did it, but it was there for interpretation. My interpretation of it was that this is a man who is quote unquote not well. He has health problems. So the message there was if you vote for Joseph Boyka, he may likely die in office. And his vice presidential candidate is really the person that you're voting for. So if you're going to vote for Joseph Boyka, know that you're most likely voting for Jeremiah Cohn to become president. In the unfortunate event that Joseph Boyka, passes while he's in office. I would draw a parallel to that of,
You said
Musa
that's
Yar'Adua.
that what the casket meant?
That's what the casket symbolized. It's telling
Okay.
you, I don't want to use harsh words. I want to be respectful, but it's almost like saying dead man walking. You have a president who we all know is very, a presidential candidate who is ill, who has been, taken to hospital, flown to the United States for medical treatment. He's been frequenting the United States this past month, and many people are concerned about his health. So it's not the same as when they did it during Ellington, because Ellington was symbolic of her involvement in the war, of the people who died because she sponsored the war. So it's not the same thing. This one that happened today was symbolic of Joseph Boyka's poor health and the likelihood that he may die in office, and Jeremiah Cohn and Prince Johnson will effectively be running the country. So I think we can separate those two things. So I don't like the way that they did it, but for those of us who are seditious and understand how, I won't say I'm a seditious, but we are supporter and understand how CDC talk and communicate, they were simply trying to tell you that Joseph Boyka, quote unquote, is a dead man walking. And if you elect him, you're electing Prince Johnson and his MDR party because he may likely not make it to his 6 years in office. That was my interpretation of it.
Okay, let me
Excuse
play
me,
the video.
excuse me, Mr. Ja.
I know we're going to talk more about it.
Please share the Facebook link with me.
I did.
I can only find the YouTube link. I share that on my page. I want to share the Facebook link also on my page. Please, that's all I want.
I did. I share it with you.
In my inbox.
Yes.
I will send it to you too.
All right. So now that we talk about this cascade, let's play the video.
A casting with some pictures on it of so folks, we actually apologize for the poor internet system here. For the poor internet system here today. So there's the casting. With the pictures of Pastor Joseph in my back, and so folks, you can share the live video. The political water of Liberia. Is that easy here, folks?
Jimmy, let's talk about today's the start of campaign 2023, the official start. I thought all along they were campaigning, but NEC said today is the official start, so I agree. What's your take on day one?
I think, well, off the bat, I think that's something we need to revisit. We have October 10 is the elections, and on August 5th, you open campaigning. That means you have to September 5th, you have exactly 2 months. Is 2 months enough time to make a statement, to canvass people to express? I think some of these things need to be revisited, because it may not jive with what the reality is today. I'm not sure how they arrived at 2 months, but I think it's a little bit of a short time to do it. Yes, we saw it in full force. I first started with CDC with the general. Macaris Gray marching all the way from his district in town to the headquarters. The rain did not deter them. It was as if the rain did not even exist. So I saw them, they were in numbers. I saw them. And then early, I also saw the UP people handing out flyers and stickers. And a lot of them seem to be very active and fired up, and which led to my concern, because it appears that some of them are already anticipating that there will be wrongdoing, and they are already poised to retaliate. I didn't like the sound of that. It's because we know where we've come from. So that it wasn't just one or two person, but yes, there are some strong UP people. I see them reiterating that if anything goes wrong, they are ready to do this, ready to do that. So that was some concern. I listened to Cummings too. He had a message. He did try to say he's going to do things for the youth, and he did try to make a speech, and they had their little dancing. But it was not just in Monrovia. Before I go out of Monrovia, I just want to say I even heard Dr. Moneyba. He too calmly opened his, and so it's in full force. I don't know if this is going to be a daily thing, but even around the counties, in Nassau, in Nimba, in other places, yeah. Sally was in Nassau. A couple of people were in Nimba. I'm giving the information I'm giving you directly. So it is campaign season. Now, the last thing I would just say is I see a lot of animation. I see dancing. I see people fired up. But what I don't hear are, what are we expecting? What are the themes? What are we thinking this new era will bring? I did hear about the roads and stuff like that, but what is this new election, this new administration going to bring? Be it old, be it new, but what will this next 6 year term will bring? I didn't get much of that today, and that's what I'm looking forward to hearing.
Thank you. Much had already been said about this casket totem, right? People carrying casket around. Mr. Gilman, what you make of this casket with Joseph Newman Boakai picture on it?
You know, Mr. Ja and my colleagues on here tonight, politics is about messaging and what resonates with the Liberian people. We've heard time again about Sleepy Joe, Joe the Sleeper, uh, 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 Dead Beat Joe, Joseph Boakai the Sleeper, and all of the adjectives applied to Joseph Boakai. We've seen pictures of Joseph Boakai sleeping. We've seen videos of Joseph Boakai sleeping and the snoring and all of that. So, if there's anything that is said or was said about the casket or the coffins, it's nothing that is despicable, as my sister put it, but this is the political life of an opponent, a former ruling party establishment. That these elections gonna close the doors on Joseph Boakai. These elections will seal the deal, will send him packing, that he will not return to the political landscape of Liberia. It is nothing like to say that we want to see the old man dead. We know he got kids. We know he's of age, but nobody wants to see him dead. Okay? All we want to see his political career dead. And that's what's going to happen in these elections. We're going to bury his political career. That's all it is. It is nothing about the person Joseph Boakai lying in the coffin. It's his political career that is on the line. Just as our leader.
So you disagree with Elvis? Elvis say he's sick, he's going to die, and that's why he's.
Thank you.
No, I don't disagree with Elvis, because a great philosopher once said, if you don't wish or aspire for anything, or if you are afraid of death, you will not gain anything. Okay? If you are afraid of death, you will not gain anything, because you have to experience death to gain something. That is, if you gain nothing, but you cannot be afraid of death, and then you say you gain something. Okay? So I don't disagree with Elvis. All of us on this platform tonight, one day we all gonna expire and go.
That's not what Elvis is saying.
No.
Don't misinterpret my words. Don't misinterpret my words.
But that is not what Elvis said also. And
right.
Mr. John, that's not what Elvis said. Elvis correlated with the fact that they use the casket, it means that Joseph Boakai will be dead soon because he's very sick, and that Mr. Jeremiah Kuhn will become the president. What Gilman is not saying is something completely different. He is saying it's in the messaging. So what message were they sending? Number two, if Gilman is saying that they use the casket to signify that this will be the end of Joseph Boakai's presidential career, this will be, why did they have to use his pictures on the casket? So why are we hearing two messages coming from two
You're not hearing two
institutions this
messages,
evening? We
Well,
are.
could you allow me to chime in? Allow me to. This casket carrying was done before.
Hold on, Jimmy. Hold on, Jimmy. Evans is here.
Yeah.
Goodman is saying there's a metaphor that his political career is dead. Evans is saying physically he's going to die soon. The way he's
Yes.
Evans,
I say he's going to die too.
That's what he
Allow
said.
me to clarify, please. Allow me to clarify.
to clarify,
I was giving you the example of somebody like Musa Yaradua in Nigeria, who many people thought was a great leader. He died in office, and it got Gulag Jonathan, and the trajectory of the country changed.
right?
Corruption was high, and many people said this is not what we voted for. This is not what we voted for. So even Prince Johnson has said it. What do you think Prince Johnson means when he said that their pathway to the presidency?
What are you
No,
saying?
what did you say?
Wait,
What did
now,
you say?
let me explain.
No, what
Let
did
us
you
not
say?
let us not play a blind eye to the reality that the old man is sick. We know that he has a pacemaker. He has health problems. 6 years is a long time. He's already in his late age. So the possibility of him finishing his first year is not very high. His first term, I should say. So that could be a symbolic. That, like I said, I was interpreting it. That's my interpretation of it. Mr. Gilman can have a different interpretation of it.
Right, but
all speak as
okay.
one.
But Dennis, allow me to come in 1 minute. I just want to show that law and everything else. There's precedents. There's precedents.
Hold on, Jimmy. Let me just say, really, what Elvis said. I want to agree with Glendy that's despicable. To say this person is sick, is this, is that, so he's going to die, and that's what the casket meant. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I want to refute that,
But that
Dennis.
that
I want to
does not-
refute.
Dennis,
Mike, give me a chance. Let me
that does not make
Mike.
it a fact. What are
Mike,
you
let me
agreeing with
refute
as a
it.
moderator
And-
does
and
not
the-
make it a fact.
Mr. Gilman, let Mr. Eastman come here. I want to hear what he has to say.
There's a precedence. They were carrying Ellen casket around also. It didn't mean she was sick or about to die.
She was a different
This-
person.
Exactly. But wait a minute. Let me land. She was a different person, but the idea is symbolic. And if we're going to say it was symbolic of a death or a passing or a defeat, the casket signifies defeat of the enemy, a defeat, a burial of a political career.
Right.
That is just what Michael was saying.
Right.
Wait a minute. Wait. Let me know. I said it happened with Ellen. So we're not because it's coincidence that old man may be sick or aged. I'm not going to go there with Elvis, but it was the same symbolism that they were using today. So how will you claim that they speak up because you see the man will die? No, they did this before.
What he said and how he said it.
Who? You said that's Elvis.
He's coming
But
back to clarify.
no, I
he said.
I heard what Ellis said. I heard what Ellis said. I'm not going to Ellis. I don't agree. That's why I wanted to come in. I don't agree with Ellis' version. Okay, Elvis's version, simply because this has been done before and the person wasn't sick. So that doesn't apply. In law, all along what we practice, you use precedents to determine the present. That's not the precedents we said. That thing is a symbolic of a political career being buried, not some sick person being buried. So I don't think it's fair.
So
I mean, if it was anything else, I would say so, but I don't think it's fair.
So you disagree with Evans?
Yes, I do.
Okay, that's. I just wanted to be clear on that.
Yeah.
All right, let's go today. I know some of you have political sides, right? But today, who in your view?
Dennis, I mean, are we just jumping in, or are we being, usher in? That's I'm kind of lost here, but I didn't.
You were off the screen, right? You fell off.
Yeah, I had to redo mine. You advised me whenever the call dropped, I should come back in. So that's why I did that.
Right. So
but prior to that, we just basically listening. So I just want to know: are we going to be chiming in, acting, or are we going to be ushering? Because I still have a little bit of, response to Mr. Gimmons' statement.
Just say you want to say something. So
Okay, okay, yeah. I would like to say something.
all right, go ahead.
Well, firstly, with regard to the casket toting, though, we just if you want to contextualize it, we live in the 21st century world. And today, if I sat down with my daughters, I'm trying to encourage to be involved into politics and the community and things, because life is about politics. If I sat with them, telling them about Liberia and the democracy, the emerging democracy we have, for them to watch what will happen and what is going to happen as we gather ourselves for the election. And my kids then seeing a group of people doing casket with somebody picture on it. The first thing they ask me, "Oh, who died? Who funeral is that?" And I'm sure I try to tell them, I try to explain to them, and they couldn't really wrap their head around it. And we trying to sit here and try and romanticize it and politicize it. It means this, it means that. It is just not. It's distasteful. That's what it is.
But Prince,
Mr.
this
Jha,
is not new, right?
Mr. Jha.
It is not new, and it's always been habitually the CDC who they did it in opposition. They did it to Tell Ure. There's a picture. They did it in District 15 to Tell Ure. I mean, it's something habitual. We have to speak, basically condemn that.
Gentlemen.
Hold on, Gilman.
Let me come in.
They did it to President Doe. They carry a casket, right?
It still doesn't justify that. And what the consequently, what
The
happened now? We have a civil
they did
conflict.
it to Ellen.
Hold on.
It's the same reason they did it to Ellen, because they were saying he was responsible for the deaths of people.
Let me come in.
And what was the dividend of that? We had a civil crisis. Are you saying that this is a prelude to a possible civil crisis we are looking at?
Prince, I'm saying this is all along. People have used this symbol in political rallies. What is
Exactly.
Which people?
In the LU student use that they carry Doe casket.
Okay.
CDC use that they carry Ellen casket, and today CDC is using it to carry Buaka's casket. So we have seen this consistently in Liberia.
But what we have seen consistently, what precipitate such an event is civil conflict and civil crisis. Are we saying now there is a possibility that we may go back into a civil crisis and bloodshed and things? Is that what you're saying, Dennis?
No, you agree that those different times we can interpret it differently. Right, we can interpret those different times.
Anyway, that's not dwell on the topic, but I want to just clarify things before I come to.
What I'm saying is, you said it signifies civil crisis. Is it when CDC carried casket for Ellen, we didn't have civil crisis?
No, I didn't say I know. I say what participated. You're talking about what happened in LU. I mean, what happened in Doe, in the case of Doe. I said all these things it kind of participated civil crisis. It brought about civil conflict and crisis.
Yeah, but Prince, he said not with Ellen though. Not with Ellen. It didn't precipitate any civil crisis.
No,
so that doesn't apply either.
No, we know what happened with the case with Ellen. The police brutalized the CDC and caused the death of one of the even more. I don't think that one person that died.
That may be just characteristic of our politics, but not of the casket.
That's why I'm saying it's distasteful. That's what I'm saying, my brother. I'm not trying to justify it or juxtapose it to another event. I'm saying it's distasteful. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay,
and secondly, I want to say to Mr. Gilman, I know he came up with the attacking and swinging. I mean, talking how I left the Junior High show and 3 years ago, and how I don't know anything about Mr. Cummings' primary and education. Look, Mr. Gilman know that we were one of the first group of people that were gravitated toward the Junior High show. When the Junior High show was a show that was intended or built on the foundation of propagating, educating, and advancing the Liberian people based on neutrality and unbiased information. And when I went on that show, I asked Mr. Gilman on a several occasions, I got text message between here and now. I say, and that time you are propagating, you coming across that you are propagating the message for we are. And I asked, I said, is this show for? He told me categorically that the show was independent. It was not supporting any government. But then in the middle of that, I found out that it was not the case. So and since it was not the case, and then this show was meant to propagate and the message of one political party and be a platform for one political party, I felt disinterested, and I felt that I was not told the right information. And with regards to Cummings education, you know that I know that Cummings and I share the same alma mater. When we were discussing about where Cummings attended school, I was not saying that Cummings didn't go to Cedary. I go to Cedary. Cummings went to Cedary. In fact, the person that introduced me to Cummings, the person from Cedary. So it was on the issue of demonstration. You said Cummings graduated from demonstration, and I was saying no, Cummings graduated from Cedary. And you told that Cummings went to demonstration, and I agree with you. At that time, I wasn't facilitated with his early education, and I kind of said I don't think he graduated from demonstration because I was thinking on the high school level. But I'm aware that Cummings went to Cedary. We both share the same alma mater. We are both a product of Cedary. In fact, the person who introduced me to Cummings is from Cedary, so I'm very acquiescent to that. So thank you very much. But I'm on the casket issue. My point is that it's distasteful. I'm not just opposing it to any other relation. What happened in it, or who did it and who didn't do it. It is distasteful for our 21st century politics.
From the belly of the devil. Prince Williams, you are telling a blatant lie from the belly of the devil. You did not know Alexander Cummings from nowhere. You told us, and the video is there. There are people following this podcast that witness you defending for almost 30 minutes that Alexander Cummings did not graduate CWA.
That's not true. The man who recruited me, who brought me to Cummings, is from CWA as myself. That is untrue. I will tell you the man who brought me, who introduced me on CWA, the first statement the man made, and I can point you on the phone. The man said, Cummings, I got one of your brothers from CWA. One of your members, and how were able to come in? The issue was demonstration. It was not to do with CWA.
Yeah, but gentlemen, let me break in. Gentlemen, let me break in. Listen, gentlemen. Okay, Prince, give me a minute. Give me a minute. Okay, whatever transpired on Gamon's show, that doesn't reflect what we're talking about tonight.
Correct.
So let's bury that hatchet or take it up on Gamon's show. Okay, we're talking about the current election. So let's leave that. That is moot for this show. But that can be taken up another day. Let's progress.
I mean,
what's the next topic?
You came back and apologized.
That is not true, Mr. Gimman.
Because you should not have brought it up in the first place. So since you brought it up, he has responded. Dennis, can we move on?
Yeah, let's move on.
We should move on. Let's move on.
Mr. Gimman, you are logging twice. Can you log out with the other? You are logging. I mean, Mr. Eastman, why are you logging twice?
No, but it's. I just wanted to be able to see the banners and stuff. But okay, I can get out if you want me to.
Yeah, please don't log in twice. You are.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Gaiman, let's leave the comments issue. Let's go to our next. Today was Mr. Gaiman.
Yeah,
you can't dwell on that thing, Gaiman.
I wanted to comment about the issue of casket carrying.
Yeah,
what have
you?
you?
Let's forget about which school
Prince Williams
graduated.
Hold on. It's my turn, right?
Let's leave it.
Prince Williams reside in a state that is called Tennessee, and a Tennessee representative.
There we go.
Carried a child-sized casket in the Capitol. Representative Justin Jones took a child-sized casket into the Capitol, depicting gun violence. That gun violence in this country have killed innocent children.
Which which was very positive.
Innocent
compared to
lives.
what happened today, which was
No,
very
give me a
positive.
break. Give me a break. Give me a break.
Let him
Compared to
land.
Give
what
me a
happened
break.
today,
Give me a
Let
break.
him
That's why
land.
personal interpretation
Give me a break.
is unique.
Give me a break.
And he did not put Joe Biden picture on that casket.
thank you.
You know what he did? You know what he did? You know who pictures he put on it? You know what does
The
that
NRA.
represent?
The
People
victim
that
picture, right?
support people that support gun laws,
Yes.
people that support gun violence, people
Yes.
that support bearing of arms, people that support no investigation, no
Again, man,
background checks.
don't be economical with the truth. He didn't put any picture on it of anybody.
I'm not being economical of nothing. I don't know what you mean by economical of the truth.
I mean, you're lying.
Not
I mean,
only
stop
that,
lying.
Republicans
He
who
didn't
are
put
opposed to
anybody picture
abortion,
on that
they
casket.
also do
He
the
did
same
not
thing.
put anybody picture on it.
Yeah, okay,
But-
that's
It's
the truth
symbolic.
of
It was
that.
symbolic. Let's take it for what it was and move on.
That casket, we're talking about two countries here. Give me a break. When you were lying that you knew Alexander Cummings from
I
get
wasn't
go,
lying, man. In fact, I
lied.
didn't
Why
want
are
to
we
use
going
that
back
word on
there?
you
you
because I
lied.
respect the
You
integrity of
lied.
this
You
show.
lied. You lied.
Yeah, this is a different platform.
Why are we
Let's-
going back there, Mike?
Why we
Mike,
going back there?
Mike, why are we going back there?
Yeah, this
Why are we going back there?
okay. Let's today or the beginning.
I'm a
let me-
graduated
let me-
from
let me
Studio as
question-
well.
Hold on now, come on now, gentlemen. What does this have to do with which school Cumming graduated from? We can be dwelling on this, please.
You
Please,
brought
Mr.
me
Gilman,
on
Mr.
here.
Mr.
You
Williams.
brought me on here to defend my side.
Right, but
You
Cummings,
have your side. I have my side.
right?
If people cannot defend their sides,
Yeah,
we have to
talk
call
about the
them
start
out.
of the.
Let me,
No.
Mr. Ja,
No,
Mr. Ja,
Mr. Gilman.
Mr. Ja, you've always done it. You always done it.
Mr. Gilman.
You always done it. You always put me
Calm
on
down,
defense
calm down, man.
against your guests.
Start crying,
You've always
the
done
baby.
it. I'm
Calm
not
down.
crying. I'm not crying.
Mr.
I'm not
Gilman.
crying.
Mr. Gilman.
Listen,
When Prince
respect the host
William
of this show.
was
Let the man
telling
control
lies,
the show.
when
You gotta
Prince
show
William
your
was
host of
telling
your
lies,
own show.
my man,
Respect the man. Let the man control the
I
show.
respect your
Don't be
platform.
crying. Don't be
I
whining
respect
a
your
lot.
platform.
Prince,
You
hold
have a
on.
platform. I have a platform.
Yeah,
If you
Mr.
don't want
Gilman.
me here, I
Mr.
would not
Gilman.
be here.
Yeah,
You
Mr.
invited
Gilman.
me.
Yes.
I don't have to answer the question the way you ask it, but I can pivot my question, my response.
No, he
I hope you
asking you for
understand
you
that.
to allow him to.
I hope you understand. I can pivot my question, my responses.
Right, but
You can ask me.
we
You can
were
ask me
moving-
to explain why is this color blue. I can tell you why it is white.
Yeah, Mr.
I
Gilman.
want you and the guests and the listeners to understand that.
Mr.
You can
Gilman.
ask me, Mr. Ja. You can ask me why are you wearing a red shirt, and I can tell you why am I not wearing a white shirt.
Thank you.
Okay? No, thank you.
Thank you.
So allow me to explain myself.
Mr. Gilman, you answered the question. We were moving to the next. You wanted to bring in.
No, I
and
did
you are
not
taking us
answer.
back.
I did not answer. I was interrupted.
No. And you are
I
taking
was
us back to the
interrupted.
Cummings
I need my 2
business.
minutes.
What?
I was interrupted. I need my 2 minutes.
No,
If you're
Mr.
not going to
Gilman,
allow me my 2 minutes,
let's move
tell
on.
me.
Mr. Gilman,
If you're not
Mr.
gonna
Gilman,
allow
let's
me
be
my 2
civil.
minutes,
Let's relax.
if you're not going to allow
Yeah,
me,
but Mr. Gilman, Mr. Gilman, why are you going to somewhere we
be
can?
interrupted,
Mr.
Mr.
Ishmael, your
Eastman.
mic is really
I
bad. Maybe you have to
cannot
go
be
ahead and
interrupted
go ahead and come back
when
in.
I'm
Your
responding.
mic is bad.
Mr. Gilman,
I
we
cannot
gotta
be
move on.
interrupted when I'm responding.
Mr.
Okay?
Gilman, you
I
ended.
cannot be interrupted. You call me at the last minute.
Right, Mr.
You
Gilman.
called me 10 minutes before the show.
Yes, sir.
I volunteered to come.
Yes, sir.
You're not going to silence me. You're
No,
not going to
I'm not
hurt me.
silencing you.
You're not going to do anything to keep me shut.
Mr.
You're not
Mr.
going to do
Gilman,
that. If that's
Mr.
what your
Gilman, we're
intentions
calling you
are, I can exit.
Yeah, Mr.
Please don't
Mr.
answer yet.
If that's what your
Gilman, we're
intentions are,
calling
okay, then allow me to speak.
Mr. Gilman, with all
Allow
due
me to
respect-
speak.
So, Mr. Gilman, you are spoken.
Allow
You
me
have
to
spoken
speak.
several times.
But are you the only one on the show, Mr. Gilman?
Mr.
Why
Gilman,
I'm not the only
Mr.
one.
Gilman,
I'm
I
interrupted.
don't agree with you on
Everyone has
this one.
spoken. What
Let's
is
move
interrupted.
on. Let's move on.
Everyone has
I'm
spoken. Why don't we
interrupted.
just move on?
Mr. Gilman,
You're
don't do this,
interrupting
please.
the whole show because of that.
We can go back to this comment element.
But what?
Let's move on.
Mhm.
Today was the start of the show, of the campaign, right? Each of you have your side. Tell me what did your candidate, or if you look at the candidates, which of them make a big impression, had a big start of the day? Let me start with Mr. Anthony Gay.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Ja, and I'm very opportune tonight to have the opportunity to engage Mr. White, Michael Gilman, because he blacked me since 2 years ago. But
Mr. Anthony Gay, man, come on, let's go to the
We got plenty. We got plenty issues yet to
opportunity
be.
today to grill him when I can.
No,
However,
please go to the issue.
I want to speak on the casket issue, then I'll tell you.
No, the casket issue finished. You were not here.
Yeah,
Okay,
we've
We can keep going back.
I like how my party started today. It may have not been a big event, but it's kind of lay out the roadmap as to how the campaign will be. Look, this campaign about three major things: the economy, technology, and the Liberian people, job creation. If you don't have job, you can't put food on your table. If you don't have, most of all in the US today, if we don't have a job, we'll be going somewhere else. And the CPP has a clear roadmap, and this is a choice election. This is about the future of Liberia. This is about your well-being, you as a voter, the opportunity that you have not been given in these past years. This election is about you, for you to stop being a beggar. For you as a civil servant, when you go to work, you don't have to beg the government to pay you back on time. You earn that salary. They're not doing you a favor. Not for you to receive a salary of $45 a whole month. Something decent, what some people call a living wage. That's the kind of campaign. And so we are excited in our camp, and we know that we have the best team. Again, not just about a person, but the best team to handle the Liberian circumstances on the economy, on the liquor front, on job creation, on opportunities to Liberia, on investing in technology and infrastructure. I mean, the list goes on. So I'm very excited tonight to have this conversation.
Thank you. Mr. Morris, in your view, who made the biggest impression?
Of course, it's the CDC. The CDC made the biggest impression. That's why we're talking about them today. The reality is that this whole notion that the people of Liberia is resolved to vote for Joseph Boyka. Look, CDCians are resolved, and they haven't heard anything that's better than the message of the CDC or what President Weah is purporting for the country. All of these guys who are, talking about ANC, have the best legal this, the best, technological, all these things, but they're not connecting with the Liberian people. That's all that matters. Are you connecting with the people? Is the people believing what you're saying? So President Weah, people are coming out to tell you that we know what's going on, especially with his biggest rival, Joseph Boyka. They want to use him to get to the presidency through the back door. And the people are not stupid. They know what they're trying, what Prince Johnson and his folks are trying to do to get to the presidency through the back door. Since President Weah ostracized them and his political party from being anywhere close to the presidency or having any influence on the presidency, he's trying to use Joseph Boyka, and he openly admitted it, that Joseph Boyka is his way to the presidency through Joseph Boyka. Everybody know that. And most Liberians, 1 million Liberians, don't want a killer like Prince Johnson getting anywhere close to the presidency. So the symbolism when people are demonstrating is to show that, just like during Doe time, when Doe people were killing people, they were saying Doe was a killer. Doe was a killer. That was the interpretation. When Ellen Johnson came, when she was making, a hard line statement about, level the marshal with better back in 30 days, we know that she was a sponsor of the war that killed people. You can interpret it in that way. If somebody is throwing casket today, we know there are different reasons behind it. Some of the supporter of JMB has said similar things before they even became his supporter. That he's a dead man walking. He has health problems. He's not well. We're not saying that he's going to die. But if a person is sick and have a continuous sickness, no, I'm simply trying to clear up my point. I'm simply trying to clear up my point.
Glendy, let him finish. Go ahead.
Look, I will be personal for a second. My grandmother had cancer. We know that she was going to die. We know her death was imminent. And she wasn't even that old. So if somebody have a chronic sickness where they continue being hospitalized, if that's your family member, you pray for them for long life. You pray for God to heal them. But if this is somebody who's going to run the country, where everybody's lives depend on that person, and then immediate lieutenant is somebody who is being controlled by a notorious lord, That's cause for concern. So when we
So
say
you
this,
pray for
it's
them to
not saying
die.
that we're praying for him to die, but we know that he's in poor health, and the likelihood of him not finishing 6 years
Thank
is
you.
high.
Thank
That's
you.
it.
Thank you. Prince, Prince, which of the tickets made the biggest splash?
Well, Dennis, thank you very much. I want to say when you look at perspective, right? You often want to look at the bigger prospect and what accumulates the entire picture of everything. I know we are used to this kind of celebrity politics, or this sort of kind of emotional politics where we depend on soundbite, we depend on like the barbecue kind of politics, the boombox politics. But when I look at today, the launching of what will be the transformation of Liberia, I look back further to what led to the today for each political party. For example, if I look at the ANC, I mean the CPP, and I look at Arizona Cummings have built out up of clear and vivid picture of the future of Liberia. He talked about combating corruption. And mind you, he's the clean hands. He's one of the only clean hands in Liberian politics, who today is not where he is today because of keeping our people in the condition they are so that he can advance himself. In fact, he has put more resources in the Liberian politics than any politician alive today. And he talked about combating corruption. He talked about create a growth and diversification of the economy. He talked about providing jobs. He talked about making sure that Liberia have the credibility it once had before. And he had been talking these things. He had been going on. He came on even here on Focus on Liberia, which most candidates can tell you. Most candidates that are launching what they call backyard barbecue political campaign will tell you they are not being able to come on this kind of reputable platform. Even Jide show he cannot tell me that we are come on that show and allow himself to be and cross examine and interact with the people. But as Cummings have made that case. So leading up today, I think Cummings and the CPP, I mean, they are just put the icing on the cake they have been baking for the past 6 years.
Thank you, Mr. Gilman. Today was day one. They say when you want to see how the dance will go, look at the first step the person take.
Mr. Ja,
Yeah.
it is very sad that you bring people to the platform who are not representative of their candidates. Okay? And I want to stress here, in these discourses, in these conversations, you don't listen to one side. You called me 10 minutes before your show. I offered to come on. Okay? I did. Despite my engagements.
You glad he called you, but for me, he didn't even call me. He just sent me the link.
Prince.
He didn't even call me. He just sent me the link.
Prince, don't do this, man. Go ahead, Mr. Gilman.
Whether he called you or not, you are a regular participant on the show. All right? Look, honor your caption, honor your name.
Listen,
Prince, please. Let the man speak, Prince. Go ahead. You got your 2 minutes, Mr. Gilman.
Honor your name, Prince William, is the caption, independent voice. And you are talking about Alexander Cummings, a man you don't know. You don't know. You lied that Cummings graduated.
With all due respect,
when you were speaking, I didn't talk.
Go ahead, Mr. Gilman.
Thank you. When you were speaking, I didn't talk. You lied that you did not say on my platform that Cummings graduated from demonstration and not CWA. For 30 minutes on my platform, you insisted Cummings graduated from demonstration high school. You used the word demonstration high school and not CWA. You are coming back to tell us Alexander Cummings have done the heavy lifting to lift the Liberian economy. When you cannot tell us here, when did Alexander Cummings retire from Coca-Cola? A man who was kicked out of Coca-Cola for costing Coca-Cola over $1 billion in lawsuit settlements, from sexual harassment to disparity or segregation at the job, at the workplace, to a whole host of issues.
I'm glad Jai is the host.
To a whole host of issues. Alexander Cummings was let go from Coca-Cola.
Yeah, Coca-Cola opened a foundation for him.
So,
and
man, give me a break. You can choose to answer. You can choose to answer. And whenever he interferes or interrupt me, please extend my time. I will not take any prisoners on here tonight.
I will give you my own 2 minutes too. So
I will not take any prisoners on here tonight. I will not take any prisoners on here tonight. I want to be clear about that. Okay? I will not take any prisoners on here tonight. People who do not know their candidates will come on here, will want to debate us. All right? When you speak about what happened today, who made the preparations for today? When the opposition were asleep, over 3,000 first-time voters were keeping vigil, were keeping tarry at the Coalition for Democratic Change South Party headquarters in Congo Town. Over 3,000 spent the night at Congo Town when the opposition were sleeping. Who's prepared when registration was going on for voters? The opposition, Alexander Cummings and others, were in the courthouse talking about the system is not right. But then the court have not decided, and Alex Cummings went to register in the very system that was not ready. Who's prepared? Numbers, elections are about numbers. Who have shown to the Liberian people that they have the numbers? Who have shown to the Liberian people?
Thank you, Mr. Gilman. Thank you. We have let's observe the 2 minutes time. Glendy, let me welcome Mr. Rochefort Manaswa Collison. But Glendy, today campaign started. In your view, who made the biggest impression?
Nobody. Nobody. Nobody impressed. So? Nobody impressed me today. The only thing I got from everything that, I mean, it was a good thing that everybody was outside. Everyone was out. All the parties were out today, but no one had any impression on me today. The only thing I got from the camping today is the casket. That's all I got from there. That's everything, and that's where I'm stuck.
That was a huge impression, then. Then that's a huge impression.
It was a negative impression for me.
Prince,
that's
what
I
are
left
you doing?
with. Say that
Prince,
again.
No, I'm talking about Prince. Prince, why are you interrupting? You will have your time to speak.
No, I'm just agreeing with my sister that there was a huge impression.
We are many on the platform, so let's have 2 minutes each to state your point. You're going to have an opportunity.
Are we still on the water roll or so? Because we're still on the water roll, right?
No, you are interrupting. It's causing a lot of confusion. So please wait for your turn. You will have an opportunity to speak. Mr. Gilman said a lot of things about Mr. Cummings.
Thank you.
Come to that. Some of these things, people have they've been saying then, and the people have shown proof of Cummings' retirement. So it is something that I will give you an opportunity to talk about, because I've read on the internet that he was honorably retired and not fired. So
thank you.
Glennis, complete your thoughts, and then we go to Mr. Collison.
I mean, I'm so happy that you mentioned that game, Mr. Jar, because I also want to for us not to leave this platform with what Mr. Gamer said, especially when he's trying to accuse Mr. Cummings of being fired or being let go because of sexual acts. He mentioned that, so it would be good to come back to it because we all have watched it. Like I said today, it was a good thing. One of the things, it could be motivational because even though it was raining, people were still out there trying to believe in and carry out their campaign. But I learned nothing from it today. I really got nothing from what happened today. It just took me back to the fact that we're not God. Some of us, we're not doctors. We cannot continue to hear, and I'm not a supporter of Joe Boyka. I don't support anybody. But we cannot be here, and I've been a nurse for over 27 years. I cannot diagnose anybody and say this person, because they're sick, they're ready to die. There are some people who have pacemaker who are way stronger than I am. So what was done today by CDC to equate death on Joseph Boyka, take a casket, put his pictures on it, and then have several different interpretations of me was negative. And that is the only thing I took away from today. We are not supposed to be acting, whether he's sick or not, it is left with the Liberian people to say, yes, we want Boyka, or no, we don't want Boyka. We are not the one to level down, handle down on decisions on saying, oh, he's old, he's going to die, and that's what the casket was there. So that was a negative thing for me today, and that was what I got from it.
Thank you. I'm posting a press statement, a press release of Alexander Cummings. They say the Coca-Cola Company Chief Administrative Officer Alexander B. Cummings to retire 12/7/2014. So that's what I know. We'll ask Mr. Gilman later on to come up with any evidence that Mr. Cummings was discharged because of sexual allegation. We want to be fair here. Mr. Collison.
You said to retire.
I'll come back to you, Mr. Gilman.
So I want to thank you, Mr. Jha, for inviting me once more, and all my studio guests. I want to say a big welcome to you all. And the campaign had just started today, and we all understand that when it comes to campaigning in the African scenario, it's quite more different than what we look at in the Western scenario. As my own sister said, Gladys, it was a disgusting presentation of the CDC to parade a casket symbolically indicating the Honorable Joseph Boyka, is about to die or has died. I spoke with Honorable Boyka just 2 days ago, and he'll be on the flight tomorrow morning for Liberia. By Tuesday afternoon. And I'm sure he's not coming in coffin or neither in body bags.
Thank you.
So it's one thing, to have a disagreement with your political opponent, or it's disgusting and not in any way a good statesmanship if you wish him dead in any respect. Mr. Gamer support the CDC party with dead. Many uncountable reasons.
Jimmy, where did you go?
Where did he go?
I'm right here.
Yeah.
What happened to Mr. Collison?
Jimmy, you keep hiding yourself.
He called my name. He
go
was
ahead,
supposed
Jimmy.
to call my name, Jimmy.
Jimmy, for today, was there any great start? Was there 4 start?
Okay. The show of numbers are always impressive. I'm somebody who look at substance. I don't look at quantity. I look at quality. I look at substance. I've seen herd mentality. I've seen people that just run behind something and they're disappointed later on. So as much as I saw crowds, I was looking for other things. And what I was able to see made me afraid. I saw desperation in some of the followers. As the way they talked vehemently about if they were ready to go to war. again. We've been through that war. Some of us were captured in that war, and God just didn't want us to die. For I mean to see Liberians getting up again and talking about it, ready to fight, they're ready to do anything, makes me alarmed. It alarms me completely. I'm beginning to wonder if are we ready for democracy. I'm beginning to question this. I'm not sure we are actually ready for democracy because democracy is a civil event. We can disagree on candidates, but we don't have to disrespect or insult one another. And this is not being conveyed. That it's okay to have a different opinion. It's okay to support somebody else for whatever reasons. We were having a program yesterday, Mr. Ja, and we were talking about what are we supporting these candidates for? A lot of people said it was just selfish interest. It wasn't about ideologies. It wasn't about anything. That is not true across the board. But what must be true that Liberians need to respect one another and never use an election as a battleground for violence. And that is what concerned me about all the things I saw today.
Thank you. Let me let Mr. Collison complete his
Yeah,
thought.
let me finish up.
Mr. Collison, were there some great starts? Were there false starts? Were there, tell me.
Well, the thing about our whole election, our campaigning process in Liberia, Africa in general, is quite different. As I said earlier, it's not something that is very scientific or maybe very much empirical in terms of the different frameworks of campaigning. The frenzy, the halabu, and everything is what we do in Liberia. So if we want to equate this kind of a campaign methodology to what we used to hear for what we say from afar, then we're getting it all wrong. But no matter how we do it,
what you mean?
It's disgusting for any member of the ruling party to have paraded a coffin of the Honorable Boyka in it.
Mr. Is this new? Is this new? We saw that with Doe, we saw it with Ellen, now we're seeing it. Is this new?
It's not new. But in recent times, there have been a modus operandi of CDC. Parading casket, they paraded for Ellen, they did for a lot of other things before. But what we say that can we equally say the parade a casket to predict that Mr. Weah will die because he has promiscuous life going on? He's an alcoholic. He's a drug addict. Can we portray that? No. That'll be diminishing office into a personality.
Mr. Collison.
So we need to have more civility into our politics and treat them with more respect.
Mr. Collison.
That is very important.
Mr.
Yes,
Collison,
sir.
I'm coming to Mr. Gilman for evidence. So let me ask you about anything you know or any evidence of Mr. Weah's promiscuity, being an alcoholic.
Oh no. You don't want to even go there. You don't want to even go there. So let's leave that up and Pandora. Let's leave that up Pandora box. You don't want to even go there. All right? Because in as much as we have our own free.
I don't want you to levy allegations and then you don't prove it. But let me go to Mr. Gilman. Mr. Gilman, you made some statements here about Mr. Collison, Mr. Cummings being let go. Do you have any evidence of what you said?
I want you to go back to read your heading that you posted. Alexander Cummings to be retired.
To retire.
To retire.
Yeah.
Does that say he was retired?
No, the statement say he
to retire
on March 21, 2016.
Yes, Alexander Cummings to retire. Listen to me. You asked me a question. Okay? This is not the first time we've discussed Alexander Benedict Cummings Jr. The link you share only came about 2 years ago.
False.
Okay? Only came about 2 years ago.
False. They link been up since 2016.
Hold on.
My man, will you stop people from interrupting me?
Yeah, please. Please don't interrupt. I put a link.
Okay,
there.
you live in Atlanta. You live in Atlanta. Do you have a photo? When we research Alexander Benedict Cummings Jr., we didn't research him on the top. We went to the bottom, from whence he began at Coca-Cola or Pillsbury. Okay? The link you just shared is a Google link that was created 2 years ago to say Alexander Cummings to retire. Show me one picture, or you are a close confidant of Alexander Benedict Cummings Jr.
Who, me?
You have people on this platform. 75% of the people on this platform are supporters of Alexander Benedict Cummings Jr. Let them produce for the Liberian people a photo of Alexander Cummings retirement program.
So
where
if you don't,
I saw, listen to me.
Right.
No, you gotta listen to me. You don't interrupt others.
No, I
Mr.
do
Ja,
that.
Mr. Ja, I respect your platform. I respect your platform.
Mr. Gamer,
I respect your platform.
You're trying to intimidate me.
I'm not intimidating you.
Right.
I'm not intimidating you. But what you don't do to others, you don't do to me.
No, I do to others.
No, you don't. You never interrupted others.
I did. Go ahead.
No, you did not.
He has been doing that.
Mr. Eastman spoke. You did not interrupt Mr. Eastman. Mr. Collison spoke. You did not interrupt Mr. Collison.
I did.
Ms. Jane Glennie Jr. spoke. You did not interrupt her.
Mr. Gamer,
others have spoken. You have not interrupted them. To continuously interrupt me tells me that you have a sinister motive.
Mr. Gamer, stop that.
Eh?
Stop that. Don't go there with me. You can't do this. Right?
Yeah, but give me a chance. You don't have to take my answers.
No. I don't care about your answers.
Yeah, okay. So give me a chance to explain to the listeners. I'm not talking for you and the panelists. I'm talking for the listeners. I'm responding. I am responding,
Mr. Will
Mr.
you
Ja.
give the moderator of this show chance? Let him talk. I mean, come on, man.
No, when you were speaking, I didn't say a word to you, madam.
Yeah, but even when he always calls people, if there's
a but why interrupt me? He never interrupted you.
It's not just only you. He did say something when I was talking. He did.
No, he did not say anything.
Yes,
he broadcast you.
He did say something.
Mr. Gilman, you gotta stop.
Mr. Gilman is a guest speaker here today, so don't get in.
Mr. Gilman, you gotta stop. We gotta roll here. You said something. I'm trying to bring you to a point. I've done it consistently.
Sure.
Yeah, allow me to end. Allow me my 2 minutes, and then you can bring me back.
Go ahead.
Allow me my 2 minutes, and you bring me back. Okay. Allow me my 2 minutes. You bring me back.
But you gotta stop that boy.
Mr. Gilman, please go ahead.
You know, I have never shielded myself as an independent, and I know I'm supporting somebody. I have never shielded myself. I don't pretend who I am. I don't. Whether you are a female boy, or a male girl, I don't pretend who I am. Okay? This is why when you call me 10 minutes before your show, whether you call me I'm asleep, I'll be ever ready, because I know the stuff. We're talking Liberia body politics. We're not talking Japanese, Greek, or hieroglyphics. People who don't know their candidates, who don't know who they support, you bring them on show with us and you try to buttress them. That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
Do not dive your head in your hand.
Thank you, Mr. Gilman. Please go to the issue. If you ask you for evidence, if you don't have it, just say.
And the evidence is this. I was speaking to it and you try to interrupt me.
No, you said because there is no photo, so it means
No, listen to me.
Right.
Let me explain my logic. You interrupted me.
I can continue to go back and forward. Please end your
Yeah, I
statement.
mean, Mr. Gamer shouldn't have special treatment here, man. We getting 2 minutes.
Mr. Gamer, please go ahead and complete your thoughts.
Thank you. And let me say this again. When you ask your question, please do not allow people or you yourself to interrupt me. You don't have to take my answers.
Mr.
You
Gamer,
don't have to
I
take my
can step in
responses.
anytime to make a point. That's my role. Please go
Yeah.
ahead.
And no other persons have that responsibility. Okay? No other persons have that responsibility. The link you posted did not say Alexander Cummings retire December 31st, 1964, which is my birthday. Let me let you know my birthday today. It said Alexander Cummings to retire. And you are in Atlanta, Georgia. You did not participate in that gathering, if there was any. As I researched and saw on the internet, a driver of Coca-Cola who worked for Coca-Cola over 40 years, his retirement program was on the internet. Alexander Cummings did not have that link you just shared to retire. Less than 2 years ago, he never had it. There is no certificate awarded to Alexander Cummings for retirement. He was kicked out of Coca-Cola, forced to resign. And we know in corporate America, when you have a contract that is multi-million, companies can ask you to resign because you don't fit the criteria for the moment. You have caused them problem. They can negotiate, renegotiate your contract, and that's why he's on. Bring me the evidence. Give us a certificate of retirement. Give us a picture, a video of Alexander Cummings retiring from Coca-Cola. And I'll withdraw all of this that I've said here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Again, Mr. Gamer is saying because we don't have a photo, so he was fired for sexual harassment. He did not provide any evidence of such. I just want that to be clear. Let me go. Most of the time when we think these presidential candidates or these candidates, we only looking at presidential candidates. Let's look at the entire slew of candidates. Do you believe, including our representatives and senators, I mean, there are so many, I think 1,000 or that. Do you really believe that that these candidates are qualified? That you can really, are you impressed with these tickets, representative, senators, and of course, presidential tickets? When you look at these candidates, it appears to me that some of these candidates, they are not even part of the parties. Like somebody somewhere say, oh, this person is running in district number 2 in Sino County. Oh, he's winning, okay. And then these candidates are looking for political parties to join. They don't even know each other. Do you have that same impression? Let me start with Mr. Gay.
Thank you for having me.
These entire tickets, are you impressed?
No, many of the candidates, including the senatorial candidate for the CDC, McGill, who was sanctioned by the United States government for corruption, is also on the ballot. What message are we sending to our nation? But people like Michael Gamer who lack credibility in the community, even within the Grand Jury Association community.
Mr. Gay, let's stop this kind of personal attack.
I differ with you, Dennis. That is not personal attack. When somebody come up with accusation, you got to question them.
For the integrity of their platform,
it is not personal attack. If you come up with accusation, you got to question the credibility.
Mr. Williams.
Mr. Williams, let me have.
Let him. We don't want you to say okay. This and then the whole thing
here, go to. You live in the great United States
of America. The start of the campaign.
You live in a great United States of America. What information is at your fingertips? Mr. Ja, you are a man of technology. And you can prove to the ignorance of Mr. Gilman that particular post was not 2 years ago, because every content that is posted has a timestamp on it. If you don't know that, we will educate you on that. For you to come here and display your ignorance as though you understand the subject matter. That is despicable and it's embarrassing for your statute. So when you come here, you got to be prepared. You can't say, oh, that thing was posted 2 years ago. I can prove to you the date and time that particular content was posted. So because of your ignorance, we're not going to waste our time. We're going to move forward.
Mr. Gay, let us not use this word, your ignorance.
The word ignorance.
Hold on, Mr. Gay, man. Hold on, Mr. Gay. Let us be respectful of one another. And we can disagree.
Mr. Gay, just use the word lie.
Let's look at the definition of ignorance. He lacked the knowledge of. It's not like insult.
You can show that timestamp. You can say that and say this was posted. You don't have to go to his personal. You are ignorant. You are this. Let us not do any personal attack here, please. And Mr. Prince, please wait for your time to talk. You are consistently interrupting. I don't like it.
I think somebody, as a man of posted on here that interjecting is not the same as interrupting. So you keep saying I'm interrupting. I'm not interrupting. I'm interjecting.
Mr. William, let me have my time, please. So, here's the thing. This whole campaign cycle here, we hear a lot of things. But if you live in a great country like the United States, that we have information to your fingertip, please do a research. Write Coca-Cola. They will provide that information to you. Write them. Simple, one email. I can give you some email if you want. They will give you the documentation. If Mr. Cummings was dismissed, you will not have share within the corporation called Coca-Cola. He still has shares. Up to this date, he still has shares. A person who is dismissed from a corporation will not have the stock within that corporation because they don't even want you to have access to them. Anything. They dismiss you. Right? So when y'all come here, even if you don't like the man, that's fine. That's how you ran campaign against this man in Minnesota. Russell cannot become anybody in Minnesota. You the same gamer organized Liberian people to go against your own Liberian men. Why are you doing kind of business?
Mr. John, can I respond, please?
Thank you. The question I ask here is, let's look at, you responded to my question, right?
I'll respond to your question, but I won't respond to Anthony Gay because some of the things he's saying is just outrageous. First of all, you don't even have to be working for a company to own stock in that company. So if they fire you, you can own stock. It's a publicly traded company. Anybody in the public can own stock.
I'm talking about corporate stock, not individual stock.
No.
Corporate stock
and
is
first of all, and hold on, my man. Second of all, my man, hold on.
I'm telling you.
Second of all,
corporate stock, not individual stocks.
Hold on. When you were talking, you said corporate stock. So so you just said that. So let others continue.
Second of all, I would say this: I don't have resources at my fingertip like Mr. Gilman to do research, but it is a fact that Alexander Cummings retired early.
You have that you don't have.
Thank you.
Hey, I don't know, but the point I'm saying, he retired. Hold on, please. My little research shows that he retired early. He retired prematurely. He didn't reach the retirement age, and he retired. This is a common fact. What's the retirement age in the United? Hold on, my man. Let me speak. Alex Cummings retired early. That's a fact. Now, whether or not it was because of whatever reason, like Mr. Gilman said, I don't know. This next statement is a speculation. When somebody says that somebody was responsible for things like sexual harassment, the company had to pay out so and so amount of money, doesn't necessarily mean that person personally did the harassment, but people who were under their supervision may have committed those acts, then the company can hold them liable because they were the supervisor.
Leadership role.
Yes,
so Dennis, we continue to carry this narrative
people,
even though Gilman has not provided proof. You said that we will leave this narrative because there was no proof. We cannot continue to allow somebody else to come and say this. This is not right.
Glennie,
it is not right.
Let Evans talk.
Why would he come and counteract and see?
Go ahead, Evans, complete your point.
Yes, as I was saying quickly, I'm just trying to put these out, this out there. Like I said, I don't have evidence that he was fired for any of these reasons, but I'm just trying to, point out that sometimes if somebody is responsible for losing money or the company paying out settlements, doesn't mean they were responsible for the acts, but they were under, they were the supervisor of the people that can make those acts.
You keep revisiting it. You don't know.
I made a caveat that it was not. It was not.
What happened? So why can't you go to the question?
That's what I'm saying. So if Mr. Gamer can come back and clarify it,
Mr.
fine.
Gamer is here. You are not Mr. Gamer. So
Right.
go with your point. And don't try to say something
That
that you
was
don't know.
my first point was what Anthony Gay was saying. We don't know for a fact that he was honorably retired. And just how somebody you can say somebody don't know for a fact that he was fired, we don't know to the contrary. So we can only give our speculations, and that's it. Like I stated, I said what I was saying was in fact. It hasn't been verified, but I'm giving my educated guess or educated opinion on the matter. But when you're talking about the candidates in the elections, for me, if the person meet the requirements that the Constitution requires, the age, if there's an educational qualification, if they meet it, then it's down to the people. Politics is not a board meeting where you go and you pick the quote unquote best candidate. Likability is a factor in politics. Grassroots work, community service is a factor in politics. You saw somebody like Reverend Ennis, who won in Montserrat, who did a lot of great work, helping the poor, feeding the kids, doing things through his church, and he won. Doesn't mean he's the smartest man or he has a PhD and he's well learned in political science or in other areas, but because of his engagement with the people, he won. So if you're talking about qualification based on education, that's one thing. But politics is not only about educational qualification.
I didn't ask for education. I said, are you impressed with the
No,
candidates?
because when you say qualification is subjective, that's why I'm giving my explanation on what I think somebody is qualified for a political office. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're
Are
the
you
smartest
impressed
person.
with these
But
candidates? Are you happy?
I don't know all the candidates. But for me, as a CDC sympathizer, the candidate that's put on the ballot, if they connect with the people and the people know that they can provide the services to them, they will win the election. It's a referendum on them. If they lose the election, that means they didn't connect. The people didn't believe in them. That's what politics is. We can't try to make it an academic thing where you got to be so and so. You got to have so and so qualification in order to be a quote unquote good fit. People elect who they think represents them best and has their best interests at heart. That's it. It's that simple. I'll leave it there.
Thank you. And I never said do they have the requisite academic qualification. Let me go to Glendy. Let's look at these candidates. For me, as I said before, sometimes I believe these people are not even members of the political parties, and people are just looking. Okay, let's pick this person. This is in Bong. This is a Pele man. Every Pele people, all these kind of things. So if you look at these candidates, are you impressed? Legislative candidates, especially.
So let me say one of the reasons why I like coming on Focus on Liberia is because I've learned that this show and the host Dennis and Anthony, they take pride in showing that when guests come on, they speak the truth. There's so many shows out there that people do a lot of conspiracies. And for me to sit on this show tonight and hear all of the different accusation and conspiracy stuff that people are propagating out here tonight is despicable for me. And also to hear Mr. Gaiman describe, he slipped through and said, boy, girl, boy. That's despicable also as a woman for me. When you don't have proof about things and you can't come out and support what you're saying, then don't say it. And especially don't say on this platform that we take pride in, that we listen to, and that we believe in. And then to hear Evans, who is a guest on 2 of these shows, who knows the history of this platform, to come back and because he's a sedition and support the negative things that Gilman is saying, it's wrong. But I'll also say I am not impressed with the candidates that have been chosen so far. Many of them are incompetent. Many of them don't have the qualification. Many of them, they're either because, like you say, maybe there's a parliament. For example, take Nathaniel McGay. He's sanctioned, but who can stop him? Who owns NEC? Who has more voice in NEC? So how can we say that these candidates now that are chosen to run in these different political parties as representatives and senators are qualified? If whosoever will, let him come. If I got people in the government or I got people to support me, come on. If I got money, come on. So you can't look at it right now and say, oh, everybody who's running is qualified and everybody who's running has met the criteria. You cannot. You can only hope that the Liberian people will see those people that are not qualified, who do not belong there, and say no to them. But am I satisfied with the candidates so far? No, I'm not. Absolutely not.
Thank you, Glendy. There's a candidate, and I'm not going to call the name because I was not authorized to do so, who is running on the ANC ticket. And this person I spoke to yesterday said this was the particular guy who had paid an assassin to get rid of me. So the entire day, that person who talked to me said, I am down. I wonder, Mr. Cummings and the CPP know that what this guy did to me. So it brings me to the point that most of these candidates, are they even party members, or they are just going by the last train at the station? Jimmy, what's your take? Are you impressed? And let me also let you know that qualification, being qualified, you tell it, you stay here. I mean, that is not enough. If we want the real representation of our people, are you impressed?
No, I think people, my take, and I'm taking from account of past leaders, because all those people who are elected and going, they are all past leaders. And my take is a lot of them are very selfish. You see them jumping from party to party to party to party. Why? It is all self-aggrandizement. They're not interested in the Liberian people. They're not about principle. They're not about purpose. And so they just jump from here to there. I'm not impressed. But what do we do? Because every vote affects all of us. You see, when Monserrata County elects a senator, that affects everybody. When District 8 elects a representative, we are indirectly affected. So how can we get our people to make the proper evaluation of the people who raise their hand and say, I want to be your leader? Why you want to be the leader? What do you plan to do? What have you done? What guarantee do we have? Librarians have to wake up, because people have been using us and we're not getting the best of our benefit. So for me, I'm not really convinced about any of the leaders. But I want to tell you why they are allowed to do this. There is impunity in our system. If those buggers were going to jail, if those buggers were paying back, if those buggers raised their salary to 15,000 to an impoverished nation, you raise your salaries to 15,000 a month, would have kicked them guys out of the legislature that same month. They are taking advantages of us. We claim it's historic, but this is highway robbery. It's worse than it ever was before. Let me tell you, before pre-Tauber time, the people making $300, representative, $300, and now they're making $15,000.
That's not
so
true,
we can
Mr.
see,
Eastman. That's not true.
what are we making? What are we making?
No, nobody making 15,000 now. That's what I'm saying.
They were. I said were. So I speak in the language, the Queen language, Mr. Bima.
We're talking about now.
No, I said were. But man, don't interrupt me. I said were.
Go ahead.
I said were. I didn't say now.
Right.
It was Mane who came and corrected it and brought it down. That's one of his accomplishments. Okay, I give you that. But I'm making 15,000. Why are they making $15,000? We are broken country. How did that pass? How did that go by? Though I say I'm not impressed. But the reason why they get away with it, because we have a system of impunity. And if we may look at people being condemned or sanctioned and no investigation, that is not a good look. I believe for the integrity of the nation, We have to investigate everybody, not
Thank you.
not slide it. Everybody needs to be investigated, including those people who claim they're gonna represent us tomorrow.
Before I
That's the
let
only
you,
way we'll
before I
go
let
somewhere.
do you think the politician or political leader have a role in that? That we have these in your world, people that are unqualified candidates running.
If the politicians have a role in determining,
The political leaders of these parties that they are running under,
Mhm.
do they have a role to have some of these people who are not qualified?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what the executive body, they got different names they call it from that's what they're supposed to evaluate. Is this person going to be a good representative? But it is all belly driven. They don't care really. Their favoritism, belly driven. Those are the two things. They're not looking at, will this man really move the needle? Will this man really be good? No, I know this man, he's my friend, or I will get something from him. You know?
Thank you. Prince.
Yeah.
Prince, same question. I think you are the only person who have not answered this question. Are you impressed with the candidates? Are the political leaders, sometimes they just want somebody who will make them win. You don't know this guy from Feasible or in Compound 3, but because you think he's popular, so you want him on your ticket, you don't even know his record or her record. That's why I'm asking if the political leaders, these standard bearers, are also responsible. If you believe that you are not, first of all, are you impressed?
Thank you, Dennis. Firstly, let me say this, Dennis. I just saw a message, a notification in my inbox, and it was your notification inviting me to come on here. And the reason I accepted that, and I'm here today, because I know you guys are work hard to build the integrity and the credibility of this platform, and Glandis did reference that. So because of that, I respected you, although we didn't have any formal discussion, and I came on here, and that's the very reason why I don't go on certain shows on other platforms, because some people feel that when they establish a platform, they make it a factory of lies, disinformation, and misinformation, and they feel that their lies are the truth, and the truth and the facts are the truth, and they feel entitled to it. So when these people are invited here, I hope this platform can protect its integrity. Don't give these people the opportunity to think that they can fabricate their own truth. Thank you very much. And I want to say to this that I am impressed with with one candidate in the race, and Arizona Cummings is that candidate I'm impressed with. The reason I'm impressed with him because he had made his plan, his vision for Liberia. He had written it down, explained it, and went on different platforms and were questioned.
Right. Let's talk about the representatives and senators also.
Yes, and were questioned. And he had made it clear, and he said that he will be looking forward to making Liberia a country that will be representative of the 21st century that we are into today. And as regards to the different legislative, look, we are in a representative democracy. And it is sad, and it's true that there are some individuals who are running for those offices that may not be qualified. But unfortunately, it's a representative democracy. There's nothing you can do about it. I don't know how other parties go about selecting the candidates, but most of the people primary will be in the party, and the win primary is in the party. They're not handpicked. They're not chosen by the political leader.
Many of them don't go through primary.
Many of them don't go through primary. It's true. It's a fact. But that's why, as they referenced, I said that I don't know how most political parties do their selection of the candidate, but many of them go through primary, and that's typically, traditionally, and that's how it should be done. Even if it happened that way, these people will be representing based on their constituency. They'll be representing people who select them. People who, if they won the primary, they'll be representative of that constituency. Yes, they are not qualified. Most of them are. I don't, in specific reference to what you're saying, that somebody told you that ANC got one person on there who is hired assassin to assassinate them. we not. I mean, you need to give us more detailed information on that information you're throwing out there, because there are a lot of people out there I can point finger on that I mean that threaten Solomon George all the time before prior becoming a representative. Beat a lady, beat one of his girlfriend to the bone. But yeah, you represent you selected a representative for CDC, and he won his election in the area he hailed from. So these are the kind of things that we want to hoping to change in our politics and in our democracy. So that I agree with you, but I'm impressed with my candidate Alexander Cummings and what he stands for, and when the message he's propagating. Can we do more to be able to streamline those who are running for different offices, like legislatures and different things? We can do more, and we are obligated to be able to make sure and push that. You as an institution of media can be educated our people on how to select people that will truly represent the kind of democracy we want, not the kind of community they come from. Because if you got somebody from West Point, everybody in West Point, for example, let me give you an example. I'm not equating it to what I'm about to say. If you get a place that everybody in that area, or district in that area, they are all Zogo in that district, and a Zogo put him out to represent it, and that Zogo represents he's simply representing the place he came from. So that's the beauty of representative democracy.
Thank you. And I think you called out Mr. Nathaniel McGill earlier. He was primary and went and won on white ballot, right? So the fact that he was primary, will you accept him? But you also say, hey, the man is sanctioned, yada yada yada, right? So that's the kind of thing I'm speaking to.
I don't know who you're talking about, but I didn't call Nathaniel McGill.
Oh, okay. So
it might be somebody different. I didn't call Nathaniel McGill. And in fact, Nathaniel McGill is one of those that I'm even one of the flaw in our society. I'm even highlighting here, and you are concerned with yourself.
No, what I'm saying is we went through the primary, so primary alone doesn't cut it, right?
It was Anthony Gay who mentioned McGill.
I mentioned McGill.
Right. All right. My next question here is, what makes this representative and senator job so attractive? I'll start with Mr. Gilman here. What makes these jobs very attractive? And in your view, who's going to win?
Thank you, Mr. Ja. First and foremost, if you are an independent, it should not bother you whether I speak of boy girl or girl boy. Okay? It should not bother you. Nathaniel McGill is going to win in Margibi County. Sanctions are not indictments. Okay? Sanctions are not indictment. The Magnitsky Act sanctions only bar Nathaniel McGill from coming to the United States. It is not criminal. Okay? He was not proven guilty in a court of competent jurisdiction.
Thank you.
He was not. He was not. So people who don't want to hear me talk about gay ball or ball gay, it's up to them. They can continuously have feelings within themselves. Who cares? These are elections. These are about tangibles. These are about deliverables. These are about what's out there. The Liberian people know they are better off today than 5 years ago, than 17 years ago. That is CDC 5 years and former ruling party, Unity Party, 12 years, 17 years. The Liberian people are better off today than 17 years ago. The records are there. There are more schools, there are more hospitals, there are more roads, there are more electricity, cheaper electricity, stable electricity ever in the history of our country. There are. There are more students entering University of Liberia. There are more students that are passing the WACS or WIAC exams. There are more students passing University of Liberia entrance exams. You remember 27,000 students took the LU entrance exams. 27,000 students failed before the CDC government. You remember that? Okay? If people don't know their history, they should not be on this platform. They should not be on this platform. If people will hide who they support behind the nomenclature independent, they should not be here. Okay? It's faking it to the top. And I disgust that. I dislike it. You can't fake your way to the top. Okay?
Thank you.
You see the gentleman behind me? Hollis Winston, the mayor of Brooklyn Park. Boycott went against him. Alexander Cummings went against him. Stanton Witherspoon and the entire Spoon Network went against him. Darius DeLon, Yumli Kanga Lawrence went against him. The entire Liberian opposition went against him. They all went to Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. I went to Brooklyn Park, Minnesota alone. I went alone. And the people believe me than these fakers.
That's my mayor. I live in his. He's my mayor.
These fakers, these people that fake themselves, that tell lies to the Liberian people. I went alone.
Thank you.
And I love it for Hollis Winston. With a city, I'm not 2 minutes yet, my man. Don't cut me off.
What?
A city,
You 3 minutes, 13 seconds.
Come on, man. Come
Mr.
on,
Gilman,
man.
you over 2 minutes.
Come on. Not because I talk fast.
No, you don't talk fast.
Come on, Cassidy.
Not because I talk fast.
You talk repetitive. You just repeat yourself. What
I
you
talk
do?
repetitive. Give me chance.
Mr.
Give me
Gilman, 5
chance.
seconds. Please conclude.
With a city of 25,000 Liberians, Brooklyn Park, we beat a Liberian. And I can say it over and again. Winfred Russell. We beat Winfred Russell 16,000 to 9,000. And we can repeat it again.
Thank you.
With all of the backings from the opposition, Alexander Cummings, Boycott, the Spoon, Henry Costa, you name it, all of them combined, we beat them. We will beat them again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Dennis, 1 minute, please. Listen, we are all equals here. Nobody got handicap parking to take special treatment. Someone rushing to go within the 2 minutes, and Gilman is allowed to speak whenever he wants to. Please let it be within the 2 minutes, or else we can have the opportunity to speak as long as we want to speak to.
My man,
Gilman don't have a handicap parking.
You. I'm keeping my tally here. I'm keeping my time here. I know the time.
You spoke for almost 3 minutes.
I did not speak for no 3 minutes.
All right. Let me go to Glendy. Glendy, why is the job, these elected offices, especially senator and representatives, so attractive? And in this election, as we start today, from today, who you think going to win?
So let me just say something nicely. And let me just spell the word choice. CHOICE. I have a choice to be an independent. I have a choice to talk for Cummings. I have a choice to talk for Baker. I have a choice to talk for Weah. There's no faking about me. I don't fake. That's not me. If you know me, I say it like I see it. I say it like I feel it. It is unfortunate that Winfred Russell did not win. It's unfortunate that they have no Liberian now in the city council. My church is in Minneapolis. It is so unfortunate that we don't have a Liberian represented at the city council in
that you're worried.
So if we think nobody interrupted you, you
Mr.
will not.
Gilman is taking full credit. Mr. Gilman was not responsible for making wisdom.
You will not interrupt me, Gilman. Let me tell you. Maybe you trust me. If you think you can talk, myself, I can talk. Right now, it is disheartening that there is no Liberian in the city council in Minnesota. No Liberian they're serving. And if you think it's boastful that you galvanize people to go against Winfred Russell, where are we today? Where is Winfred today? Is he bitter? No, he's not. He has moved on. So why must we bring him here? There's no point in bringing him here. But I'll say this to you, Dennis. Whoever wins, I hope, whether it's Precedents, whether it's Weir, whether it's Cummings, whether it's Worker, I hope the Liberian people get the person that they want, and whoever they vote for, may the best candidate win. Whether it will be the best for Liberia, I don't live in Liberia, but I'm a Liberian. I go there. I have interest in Liberia. I have family people there. I am a Liberian first. So I'll talk in Liberia issues. No one person has a monopoly over the country of Liberia, regardless of where that person sits. So whether I decide to come out that I'm supporting Worker or Cummings, it is my choice. It is my right. And as a woman here, and I'm so excited, I am the only woman amongst all of you here tonight that I'm able to carry my own tune, and I don't need anybody to add to my voice. When I sit on this platform here and hear somebody say boy, girl, and girl, boy, and you think because I have aligned myself with Cummings and that was making me to speak, it is wrong, because we are all equal and we are all the same. This America that you live in, they support gay people. They support gay rights, whether you support it or not. So don't come and initiate that or say that and think because people say they don't like it, so someone's in their feelings.
The company Margaret gave me a word for is owned by gay or gay or gay.
Amongst all of us here, you're more in your feelings than anybody here, Mr. Gaiman. You're more in your feelings here tonight.
I get you.
Mr. John, I hope you let me go because I live in Brooklyn Park. Mr. House is my mayor.
I will let Anthony go before you.
I can go before.
I don't want us to debate the mayor politics.
Because people are doing tribal politics. They don't know what Winfred didn't do in this place. He was on the city council. He went to our church.
I don't care.
So why should we vote for him if we don't know what he's doing on the local level? Because he's not doing anything on the local level. So we're not going to just vote for him because he's Liberian.
Winfred should not be the topic here tonight. Winfred should not be the center of discussion. This topic is not about Winfred.
We are talking about politics.
Just like you don't live in Liberia, you live here. So and you have a voice on the things about Liberia. I may not live in Minnesota, but I can speak about it.
No, what you said it was a disgrace that we didn't vote for him, and there's a reason why. And
yes, it was a disgrace. That's how I see it. It was. It's my opinion.
All right.
Honestly, I would like to know the reason why y'all didn't vote.
And we don't want to delve into that tonight. Let me go to Anthony Gay.
I'm talking Winfred here.
Today is the start of elections. Why you think these offices so attractive to the Liberian people? And are we actually electing competent people to these offices?
It is unfortunate, Mr. Jad, that
and who's going to win?
It is unfortunate that Liberia, politics have become the place of overnight enrichment. People go there, people that were struggling before, by the time they hit the office a year or two from now on, you start seeing them with heavy mansions, flashy cars, and all of the different things. So it's very unfortunate. People go to this area to have a legacy, to improve the living condition of the people, to have a driving force. What is driving you to the legislature? What is your agenda? What is your ideology? What are you bringing to the table? It is not the case in Liberia, unfortunately. Hopefully this, 55th legislature that's going to be ushered in January, we will have some serious-minded people. The folks that Vendetta Patrick, the people that Wally Power, the people like what's the name, Amara Corner, those folks. Hopefully they win the election to bring a different perspective, to our Liberian legislature. Mr. Gilman said tonight again that the Minsky Act, is only to ban individuals not to come to America. That is untrue, sir. Please. It is the irresponsibility of the CDC-led government that allow these people to have their free will. Because the American people give all of the details and say, even if you need our help, we will help you. Here's the reason why we are sanctioning these people, including the chief prosecutor of the nation. For God's sake, the man who's supposed to uphold the law, the man who's supposed to challenge people ethically, legally, was also caught in that same cookie jar. It is a irresponsibility and incompetence of the CDC-led government that allowed these people to have their free will, because they were taking away from the Liberian people. They stole feature from the Liberian people, opportunities from the Liberian people, and they are walking scot-free. We talk about integrity, we talk about credibility, and you want to come here and say, oh, it's not an indictment. The American people cannot go there and prosecute the people, but they investigated these people and said because of X, Y, and Z, they are now qualified to be in government. And that's one of the reasons why they resigned. Why they didn't stay in that position if they didn't do anything? Why they didn't stay in that position? So when you come here and say, oh, they were understaffed from coming to the United States, then you never read that document properly. Take your time. That is not politics. That way you cannot.
So why were he authorized to compete?
Hold on. I did not interrupt you, sir. You had your time.
You are 30 more seconds, Mr. Gay.
But you interrupted me, so you gotta give me another.
No, I make it 30. It's supposed to be 15.
Okay, good. So I mean, that's the kind of propaganda he preached on his platform. And when people don't go there, he black us because he afraid that someone else can stand up to him. You know, I don't talk behind people. I come here and provide basic information for you so you can take your time. They get a clear reason, specificity as to why they were sanctioned. It is a disgrace to them that they were removed out of office by force, not willingly.
Thank you. I have 3 persons for this question. And after that, you can also ask me. This is a fireside chat. Prince.
You said you was coming to me next, Mr. Ja.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Same question.
Is it to me?
Oh, you said Ever should go ahead?
No. Okay. So yeah, Mr. Giles, obviously, there is a clear picture as to why you will have a lot of people opting, instead of going and carrying out industry in Liberia, will be opting for running for public and governmental offices. Because if you look at what is what is on display in Liberia, you look at the leg of George Weah that was passing around, putting a fool to put gasoline in his generator, were baking urea for money, were depending on people in America, the OBOB, to send money to buy rice to feed the people at his party headquarters, who couldn't pay his child support.
You were there?
Who couldn't pay his child support, that he had to be taken to court in Georgia here, where currently now the court asked for him to be present in Georgia because he lied on his financial statement that he was broke and he couldn't afford his child support. These people now, you see, they are, after attaining public offices, they are building mansions. They are riding luxurious cars. George Weah was in the Senate for 3 years, receiving $15,000. Never advocated for the Senate, the salary to be reduced. So Jimmy made a statement all the time to George Weah no, it's not true. George Weah didn't reduce. The other day is that they just put those money into different things called incentives, called county development thing, all going to them in their pocket. They still make over $15,000 in salary and incentives. That's why you see people are going. Jefferson Kochi that were passing around here, eating dry bread and drinking tea. Today he wearing Gucci. So these are all these things that make people think government is the easy way out in Liberia. When George Manuel Weah is so ashamed of what he had in his bank account that he refused. He put a gag order on his asset declaration that is a public information, that anybody can file a Freedom of Information Act and they should be able to get access to it. And many organizations have filed for Freedom of Information Act to get that information. It's a gag order. It cannot be revealed to the public because he was ashamed, because he didn't have any penny in his pocket. And today now he's getting wealth. He's building wealth all over. So those are the things that encourage people to run for public offices, that entice people to run for public office. I guarantee you today, if you reduce the pay of the legislators to $500 a month with no benefit incentives, you will not see those people you guys running for almost 8,000 people running for office. They will go make farm. Thank you very much.
Prince, before I let you go, any evidence of those things you say about about the money and everything else?
What do you mean? Any evidence of those things?
You said he never had money. He never had anything in his pocket. The child support, and I think you said something about what is in Georgia that he's not supposed to come here or something like that.
Evidence. I'm not saying he's not supposed to come here. Judge Manawia, when he was in court in Georgia as related to child support, you are well aware that when you're in court with regard to child support, the judge or whoever that is running that child support case will tell you to give your financial declaration so they can use that to be able to assess how much you pay your child or give your child. Joe, we are lie on that financial declaration.
Right. How you know he lied? That's what I want.
The information is public record. You go to the court, Georgia, in Georgia here, you see a child support filing, and he declared what he declared he was making, or he had. He said you were only making, I think, if I stand to be corrected, a certain amount of money as a representative. That was the only income he had. That was a lie. For that reason, the judge ordered that he should be present in court, and he didn't show up for court. He had a lawyer here, but George wanted to see him. He didn't show up to court. And if you come,
who was the child's mother?
I don't want to call her name here, but she on Joseph Baga team right now. I don't want to call her name here, but she on Joseph Baga team, on Joseph Baga team right now.
She has a history of fleecing wealthy men for child support.
Well, that
is so wrong.
That statement you made just now. It's sad that you make such a statement. I don't think if anybody makes statement like that to your sister, I'm sure you'll be offended when somebody made that statement to your sister.
Getting $50,000 a month in child support. $50,000 a month. Now, what you trying to do to George? We're not allowed to happen.
Yeah, but we will not allow you to come here and demean a woman also. I'm not going to sit here and allow you to be a woman. You have proof? Do you have
know who my Jada Cooper is? I know the man that can have a first child support. He has $300 million in net worth.
If I may end, I think this is let me conclude. Let me conclude. This is the sort of ignorance. This is the sort of ignorance that some people come to intellectual discussion with. I don't know where you got your Madara Cooper information from. This has nothing. That's Joe. We are all a baby man you're talking about. I don't know if Madara Cooper talking for child support, but this is not Madara Cooper I'm talking about.
The judge came back Madara Cooper child.
Thank you, Prince. Thank you, Prince. Ebbers, you are making all kinds of statements that really don't represent you tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you give me the chance to explain myself. Give me the chance to explain myself. And look, people can't come on this platform and be snowflakes and melt at everything that somebody says. Let the person explain themselves. Look,
yeah, but if I'm allowed to give him the chance,
give me my chance. Give me my chance.
I've been interrupted.
Prince, you finished. You told me you finished. Please.
I finished. I was interrupted by Alex, and I was interrupted. I didn't.
Ended. So, Evans.
No, Mr. Jah, I don't think that's fair to me. I'm going to Alex. Maga Gamer now be whining and crying here right now.
Prince, you said you were finished.
No, I'm not finished. Let's see. If you want me to pull my Maga Gamer, I can pull that. I can be whining and crying here, Jenna, the baby. But I'm not finished yet.
Go ahead.
Okay, so if we have these sort of people that no entity.
Mr. Kevin, you can't do that the way you laugh at the best.
Let me pause when Mr. Kevin finish laughing. I'll continue.
Yeah, let him laugh so you can finish. When you finish laughing, then continue.
Come on now.
You have a woman on the show, you speak about another woman, and you say somebody should let you.
Mr. Jah, I'm waiting on Mr. Kevin to finish laughing. You gotta get a chance to laugh.
Anymore. It's Glendy who's talking. So
no, Mr. Kevin is laughing, not getting no chance to laugh. It's funny.
Please, you have 30 seconds. Finish so we can go to
in 30 seconds. If you got individuals who are non-entity, who don't even have anything to show for, ride on the sentiment and the victimization of the people to get the power to reach themselves and gain wealth, and then stay here today and try to tell us that they are the one who are ushering hope or change for the country. No wonder why you get people. Perhaps Michael Gaiman one day will go to Grand Jury and run for representative when he retired. When he retired perhaps retire in America and run out of 401k, he may go to Grand Jury and run for representative. Who knows?
Thank you, Elvis. It's your turn. Elvis, all right. Elvis is not available.
Yeah, he's out of the stream.
Right, he's out. So it's your turn now to ask me a question. There's a chat.
So you didn't ask me to?
I thought you were the first.
You know.
You are the first.
You know, Mr. Gilman, you can ask him questions.
He was the first. You can't remember.
Hold on now, Prince.
He wanted to host a Gaiman show.
Mr. Prince, stop it.
I have a question for you, Mr. John.
Okay, go ahead.
You asked us, do we think that these people are qualified to run, and you also asked us, why are there so many pursuing this course? What is your idea of that?
Well, first of all, I believe that a lot of the people running, some of them don't even understand the duties of the office that they are running for, and they are taking advantage of maybe desperation from the voters and are running. Because take for instance, somebody told me, he said, well, even if you tell the voters that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, relative to the job you are seeking for, they're not going to vote for you. So we have to tell them that we're going to build their bridges, we're going to build their roads, and we're going to build that. I also see that some of the candidates don't even know the people that are on their ballots. They just realize that, hey, Dennis Jai in Dominica, we know he's popular, and so and he wants to join our team. We want to win. They are not really vetting these people to know them, and that's what's happening. So what I think is responsible people just want to win. They don't care to even educate the voters as to what the offices are for. They just want to win because there's too much money, there's too much power, there's too much impunity in our system. So they get that. So the end justifies the means. I interview people here who say, we don't care what happened. All we want to know is we want to win. When we win, after that, we're going to govern. And that's the mindset on these, the part of the of those running for office. And then for those who, the voters, they're just saying, hey, I mean, if this person is elected, we're never going to see them again. So why can't I get what I can get from him today? And we can talk that other one later. I'm really troubled by the way things are going in the country, especially the people that we are voting for. And nobody even turned to, if you are even trying to scrutinize people, they say, oh, my man, you're jealous. Wait for your time. What have you done? You're sitting down in America, you don't even have chicken hot yet. And we see that most of the time, these political leaders, these party leaders, are not even going for competence. Someone said, oh, he's from the Bassa belt, the Pella belt, the Gio belt, the this belt. People are only after popularity, who they can vote for. Oh, well, I just need people that can win. Even if you are forming a political campaign team, you are not looking for someone from Bapulu or River G. Even if they are qualified, you are looking for, okay, let me take someone from Bon County. Let me go to Bassa, where the people are plenty to vote. So everything is either tribal, is either people who know you, or somebody who can give you money. And that's disgusting to me, because someone like me, it doesn't give me any opportunity.
Then I have a question for you.
Can I ask you my question?
I have a question for you.
Anthony gave first, and then you can come, Mr. Gaiman.
You never give him a chance. You never give him a chance to go, Mr. John.
You cut off. We couldn't wait for you indefinitely.
Oh, that was for like 5 seconds. I came right back.
Yeah,
but
okay.
I have a important point to make. And please allow me to make that point before Anthony Gay asks his question.
No, after Anthony Gay, I will come to you. Go ahead, Anthony.
So Yeah, you're raising this issue about political party and and the candidates we put forward, right? But Mr. Jha, we have a unitary state form of government wherein the president has so much power can appoint almost up to 98% of the people in government, right? Outside of the of elected position, the president can appoint up to 98% of the people that work in government. So with that knowledge, with the poverty of the people, with the suffering of the people, most people today are not making a logical and rational decision because they are hungry. All they see, you see people, with all the money, and they want to follow the people that might gain now today have relevance in our political setting. You are on the show tonight. Me. And Mr. Gaiman just said the Minsky Act only ban people from going to America. Do you buy that idea?
Oh man, you brought it into Mr. Gamer again. I think
you are a media practitioner.
Yeah. I think it's not the only way. It's not the only thing. But I understood him that it merely has to do with America, right? So whatever power the Magnitsky Act has, really, Labrador does not have to enforce it, right? Especially if the people are not willing. So America can enforce it, say, don't come here. But for somebody in Mangibi, they can relate to that, right? So I do not believe that the Magnitsky Act is only stopping people from coming to America. But I think I understand the point he was making, that it's only, it's only related to America. And of course is a sanction, right? It is an allegation. They say, well, you did this, you did that, you did that. I'm not a big fan of it because I think our LACC, our GAC, and our laws finding people guilty, and there's nothing being done about it. But if America finds someone or indicts someone, we kind of talk more about it than even our own laws. I mean, for God's sake, people have done worse things in our country. Okay, they have stolen from us, and we've been crying, we've been saying it, and it's like it doesn't even have the attention it deserves because we're not America. I think those who violate our local laws, selling passports, stealing, insider trading, all these things, we should frown on them the same way we frown on people when they have been indicted by the Magnitsky Act. That's what I believe.
Thank you. I like
Abbas, your turn.
Is it? I thought you were coming to me.
No, Evans had a point when he fell off.
All right, go ahead, Elvis.
He coming with this kind of mentality like, hey, why you don't ask me? You fell off.
Is it a session that we're asking you question now or we're making comment?
Let me make my point, please.
Yeah,
I wanted to make the point.
You are asking questions to John now.
Yeah,
but I didn't get a chance to make my point before the questions. The point when we sit on this platform and we talk about how people in Liberia are not making the right choice politically. Fine.
You made a statement about the women, right? So I want you to start with that.
Oh, you want me to start with that?
Yeah, because
I will come to that later. But let me make my point because this is a personal point for me because I live here. I live in Brooklyn Park. Right next to Brooklyn Park, there's a city called Brooklyn Center. We had a Liberian mayor, Elliott. He was the mayor in that city. And the reason they refused to re-elect him is because of what happened to this. This was on the national news. There was a lady called Kimberly Porter, who inadvertently killed a young Black American kid called Dante Wright, right here in Brooklyn Park, in Brooklyn Center. And the Liberian mayor, without knowing the history of that woman, I have a personal connection with that lady. For example, the Ebenezer Community Church, where most Liberians go to in Brooklyn Park here. That lady and her partner volunteered themselves. When we first moved to Minnesota from New Jersey, she volunteered herself to the Liberian community. They ran programs for people understanding the laws. My father was a part of it. I'm being brief. I haven't gone 2 minutes, but I'm giving you context here. I'm giving you context, Mr. Jai. This is personal for me. Let me say it.
We don't want to talk Brooklyn Park politics yet, so just wrap it up.
No. Because people are saying that it's a shame that we don't even have somebody sitting on the city council. We've already had a mayor in Brooklyn Center. In this America, we've had a mayor. and he went after that lady. That lady was a liaison officer at my high school. I interacted with her every day. My sister went to a birthday party, got in trouble. That lady drove her home in her squad car. So we know her. She's not a racist. She dealt with the Liberian community in this community and helped a lot of Liberian people. So the point that I'm trying to make is the reason that guy wasn't reelected is because he went after that lady vigorously and he tried to put her in jail for something that was inadvertently. That's why he wasn't reelected. When it comes to Winfrey, Winfrey hasn't done anything on the local level, on the grassroots level for Liberian people here. The one thing that he did, he was riding the coattails of that DED program when he fought for the Liberian people, and we rewarded him for the city council position. Since then, he hadn't done anything. When he was on the city council, he didn't do anything for us in this community. That's why we didn't vote him. You're preaching tribal politics by saying we should vote for him simply because he's a Liberian and because Brooklyn Park has a lot of Liberians, we should vote for him. That's the same mentality we're carrying into the United States. But when we say in Liberia, it's being tribalistic. But we're being, I don't want to say, racist or nationalistic when we come to Liberian politics in America. That's not the case. And then I will touch on that Mandela Cooper issue. Like I said, you said that the woman is a member on the tag team of JMB. Mr. Prince said it. Who's the lady that owned the tag team of JMB that had a child by George Weah? Unless there's two of them.
No, Mapia Gono is
unless there's two of them.
Mapia Gono is on the tag team. Hold on. And it was Mapia Gono who took him for child support.
Thank you. Thank you.
So,
the judge will have a child by Magdalena Cooper?
Educate, and inform.
She was not the one that sued.
Did she take him for child support as well?
No,
Magdalena Cooper, who's on the rescue entity?
Why are you not paying attention?
Evans, it was not Mandela Cooper who took Weah for child support. Evans, please, you are a strong young man. Don't talk like this.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Did she take you for child support?
No,
she didn't.
You talking about Mandela? You talking about Mandela?
Yeah.
Mandela has a different issue, but we're not talking about her.
But then lived in Atlanta, Georgia. She lived in Atlanta, Georgia before she went back home to Liberia.
That's a whole nother story there, bro.
When I said Mandela Cooper flees somebody for $50,000 a month in child support, is because I know this.
That's a whole. That's why we know where he going. That's a whole nother story, but we're not talking about Mandela.
Next time you might tell Joe, we ought to be faithful to your wife and sleeping around with her and having children around.
Evans, please. This is not about Mandela Cooper. You misspoke. Apologize and let's move on.
Thank you.
Right. Apologize to who?
To women.
What did I say about her that was wrong?
To women, you said it. You said she's nude.
She flees. I said she multi-millionaire in Atlanta, Georgia, $1,000 a month. That's a fact.
That's not what you said.
What did I say? What did I say?
Evan, what brought Mandela Cooper into the discussion? Why did you bring
When he mentioned there's a lady on the JMB tag team,
right,
who had a child by George Weah that was taken to.
No, Mandela Cooper is not on the tag team. Mandela Cooper did not take George Weah for child support.
Fine.
Right. So,
how do you know she didn't take George Weah for child support?
All right, that's a different story. Let's go to the next person to ask me a question, Mr. Gilman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yo, wait, Mr. Gilman.
Yeah.
Huh?
I thought it was coming out.
Digging deeper.
Yeah.
Come on, Jimmy. Mr. Gilman, go ahead.
Thank you. You know, the despicable thing here is when people who are not qualified to compete in any contest come out and call people, say they are not qualified. I want you, Mr. Ja, if you can answer or pose the question to your ANC colleagues, let them give us 5 names of persons who are contesting on the CDC ticket that are not qualified and why they are not qualified. That's number 1. Number 2.
Why on the CDC?
That's who I defend. That's who I represent.
Okay, is the question for me or is for ANC?
The question is for you to relate to your ANC colleagues.
There's no ANC person here.
Okay, listen to me. Listen to me.
Are we asking 5 questions or 10 questions?
Listen to me. Why do you guys interrupt me?
No, we just want to know how many questions we're asking. I just want to know.
I got 2 minutes. I can ask 10 questions in 2 minutes. I'm not responsible for your limitation. I can ask 15 questions in 2 minutes.
Go ahead, Mr. Gilman. Please ask me the question. We got to move on.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Second, the issue of the Magnitsky Act. I hope people will leave from here and go and read it. It's a political decision, a political or gesture. And we all know Alexander Benedict Cummings Jr. paid $180,000 to achieve this sanction. That agreement with Alan White and his colleague was renewed for another 6 months.
Mr. Gilman, please ask me the question. Let me go ahead.
Yeah. So this was paid for by Cummings. So people should not come here to mislead the Liberian people as if to say the sanctions were legit. I can tell you on this platform, as I've said on my platform and elsewhere, the sanctions imposed on Nathaniel McGill, Bill Twelve, and Serena Cephas were illegitimate. They were ill-fetched. They were targeted by people in the opposition. When you got a representative, a congressman, tell you, say, go and bring me in the list.
Mr. Gilman, this is not a question for me. You are explaining. Please let me.
Yeah, you can explain that. You can explain that. I mean, why you always interrupt me, man? Why you don't give me a chance? It is my 2 minutes.
You don't have 2 hours to ask the question.
It is my 2 minutes.
No, you don't have 2 minutes for the question. Just ask the question and let's move on. Let me go to so your question is, I should list 5 presidents who are not qualified.
And why they are not qualified?
A lot of our candidates, like the one who is who closing what, Josephine Davis, right? Do these people even understand why they are running?
Why is she not qualified? Is Yeke Koluba qualified more than her?
Oh yeah,
better than her.
Yes,
I too believe Yeke Koluba is not qualified.
Thank you.
I do believe that. I believe these people do not represent us.
Why is Josephine Davis not qualified?
These people do not.
I asked for 5, and why not?
Yeah. These people do not represent the best in us. I do not believe that she understands even the role of even the job she's doing. She doesn't even understand what she's doing. She's going from one warehouse to another warehouse, saying she's closing down things. I do not believe she has the requisite qualification to represent that district. We have people way qualified to do the job than people like Josephine Davis, like people like what the other guy named Safoko, like Solomon George, like the many others. You asked me for CDC, but there are other tons of people on other tickets that are not qualified.
I asked for CDC. Give me 5, and why they are not qualified.
Right. That's as far as I can go.
Josephine Davis.
Abu Giri.
Huh? That's it.
Josephine Davis, Sir Foko, Thomas Fowler, Sir Joseph, Solomon George,
Abu Kamara,
and all the rest of the people.
But that's how the Magnitsky Act sanction came about. Make me the list.
All right. Thank you. Let me.
Thank you.
But Mr. Ja, you didn't hold Mr. Gilman accountable for saying Mr. Cummings paid for the Magnitsky Act sanction.
My man, you want
to be host?
You want to be host? If we go after every rabbit hole, we will not end tonight.
Okay, I agree.
I don't have any question for you, Dennis.
Elvis, any question for me?
Wow.
No, I don't have any questions.
Thank you, Elvis.
Prince,
I made a mistake to ask a question.
Yeah. I do have a question for you, Mr. John. Mr. Jai, my question is with regards to this casket towing thing.
Mhm.
I know you said that you went back into your archives and gave some historical reflection on incident, and you juxtapose it to the incident that happened today. I want to say, do you think now in this 21st century, and as the world is it was all eyes were on Liberia yesterday or today, because it could be yesterday in Liberia, it could be today here for me based on time. Do you think that sexual actions being displayed by a government that claim to be the one that will usher in change? In fact, they came up with some quirky phrase called change, I know, hope for change or hope for change or something quirky. Do you think that image, this imagery that has been on the world, that perhaps it was seen on CNN or MSNBC, do you think that reflect the kind of democracy that we want to see in the Africa's oldest republic in this modern dispensation?
I got a question. Thank you. First of all, it was not the government doing it, right? It's not something that government is doing. So I want to make that clear. I saw people in CDC uniform, and the reporter said those were CDC youth, and CDC does not equal government. So that was, from what I read, from what I saw, I do not believe it is a government action. Those who, the ruling party, members of the ruling party did it. And I also think that it's strictly political. People, I would not carry a casket because of our belief, but these are all political tactics that they use. I've seen caskets and other things happening throughout these politics. So if they want to carry a casket and say whatever that means to them, as long as they are doing it within the confines of the law, they are not making, or they are not infringing on the rights of people. They can put casket, they can put picture on the casket and wrong. I think I don't have a problem with it.
Mr. Jah, I get the feeling that you didn't understand my question, because I was not asking whether you have problem with it. I'm talking about how do the world see that, and how we've been going to be looked at in the 21st century. People from the ruling government running around with casket, just in the street with casket with imagery of one of the major political candidates on the. How will you think the world look at us? I mean, I'm talking about. I know you used to seeing it. You saw on LU campus with your student there. So it used to you, but I'm talking about how the world.
I was not student that time.
Okay, perhaps yeah. But I'm talking about how would the world look at Liberia? I mean, that's why I try to get from a journalistic perspective, not for something that you already something you are desensitized to. You already desensitized to it.
Hold on, Mr. William. I'm not desensitized.
They carry casket red in Tennessee there.
Yeah, I'm not desensitized to casket carrying. I just think whatever the world look at it or how they will feel it, I don't want to say it is irrelevant to be rude, but I don't think really that matters. Whatever way they see it, but I think that's political. That's democracy.
I don't know why people think politics is a civil rights matter.
As they are civil,
nothing civil about it.
Anybody else? All right.
Do you know who Richard Parson is?
Thank
Dennis is 11 o'clock.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed the interaction tonight. This time I'm going to put the timer on for your closing comments, and we want just 30 seconds for you to close. Let me start with Mr. Morris. 30 seconds.
You had to wait quick. Yeah, it's politics season. Temperatures are rising. We're not going to be quote unquote civil in terms of our discourse. I'm going to say what I mean. I'm going to mean what I say. Nobody is going to come on this platform and bully President Weah and say all kind of nonsense about him, but expect us not to react in kind. Mr. Jah, this is your platform. It's a privilege to always be allowed on the platform, but even if I'm not allowed on the platform, I'll comment. So nobody is going to try to, censor, me from speaking. If you're going to come on the platform and say all kinds of things, we're going to react in kind. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gay.
I want to thank you, Mr. Jah. even though folks will come here and try to make up story, nobody will pay the United States government to do a sanction. It's a myth. That's what he preaches on his platform. But this is a clear election, a clear choice to the Liberian people. We saw the incompetence of President Weah on a full display. 1 million jobs supposed to be created, or 1 million people have to be taken out of poverty, according to that PAPD, that the agriculture is supposed to be the bedrock of the economy of Liberia, according to that PAPD. Well, the record is clear. Agriculture gave minute portion of the national budget, while they pocket most of the money. President Weah had $20 million of the office budget.
Thank you.
Ellis Comey is the best choice for the Liberian people because he has a clear, clean record and clear managerial skill, a business class man who understands growing the economy, creating job opportunity for people, and also giving the Liberian people the best option to this 21st century. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Mr. Gaiman, you're closing, 30 seconds.
Any of you have lists of people?
Okay. For my closing, I will play you this recording of Chris Smith when he requested the list from Jerome Verdier, Alan White, Yasini Martin Kpehe, Michael Mueller at a Manisky sanction hearing. Listen to it, folks.
People, credible listing of individuals that you think need to be given over to the Biden administration for action. I do hope you would provide us with that, especially as it relates to the Magnitsky Act. As you know, the ability to, or listing of individuals that you think, credible listing of individuals that you think need to be given over to the Biden administration for action.
Thank you.
I do hope you would provide us with that.
Thank you.
Especially as it relates to the Magnitsky Act.
Thank
as
you,
you
Mr.
know,
Gaiman.
the ability to, or the lack of.
I got the last laugh.
Thank you. Thank you. Right? Jimmy, you're closing, 30 seconds.
Who, me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We may bicker amongst ourselves. We may get in these little scraps and squabbles. At the end of the day, are we moving Liberia? Are we leaving our children something that they can build on? For me, the biggest reflection of an administration is how they take care of the youth. The way they address the youth's future, preparing them to be leaders tomorrow. And that is all I want to see. I believe a lot of us are traumatized from the war, and we carry baggage, and is ready to explode at any moment.
Thank you.
So let's focus on our youth.
Thank you. Thank you. Evans, you went already, right?
He did.
I assure you, I won already.
Glendy, you got the last word.
You were the first, Evans.
Go ahead, Glendy.
It's been an interesting evening here on this platform. As always, I love being here on Focus. With all of the things that we've heard this evening coming from the various panelists, we hope that we can decipher the truth from the lies. And we hope that in it all that Liberia moves forward. Regardless of what we say here, it is for the better of Liberia that we are here. So whatever you said, whether it's true or false, you know within your own consciences, you can only hope for a better Liberia tomorrow. Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you. Thank you, Glendy. And thank you, gentlemen, for your time tonight. I know it was on short notice. I got calls that, hey, focus on Labrador. We got to do something. And I call all of you in less than 15 minutes. I think Jimmy was the first, so we could set this up. And in 30 minutes, we were able to put it together. I reached out to some of you like 10 minutes, 5 minutes to the show, and you were able to come. I appreciate your time. And thank you always. Focus on Liberia, where we educate, we elevate, and promote all things like that. The elections is going to be.
Am I going to give my closing statement then?
Larry, close it already.
What?
I thought you already. I thought you did.
No, you didn't give me an
I don't
opportunity to
think
give my closing statement.
You
All right,
did.
please.
No, Prince did not speak.
No, I didn't. I didn't
Okay.
give my close. I didn't give
Okay,
my
Prince.
closing statement as everybody has done.
Prince,
I
go
didn't.
ahead. Go ahead, Prince. I'm sorry.
Good. Dennis, thank you very much for the opportunity. And like I said to you, and prior to this, I said whenever you feel the need for me to be on here to give my own ounce of contribution to our democracy, I will be available. I I think what I observed tonight is that we should put in the necessary thing to sanitize this platform, that people will not come on here and just spill lies, especially people who are under the protectorate of the United States, enjoying the benefit of the taxpayer, will come and lie and say that the government or the United States government will be bribed. The United States government will use a bill, a law that they intended to protect the citizens of the United States, will use it as a weaponize it against insignificant people in Liberia.
Thank
I
you.
think that is lie. That is a lie. Those people were committing crimes
After
that
we
were
play the
affecting
congressman's speech,
those
Thank
people
you.
that
bring
were
me the
committing
list.
crimes that were
Thank you.
affecting that had the potential to affect the American citizen, money laundering, and hiding monies here that could be used for human trafficking and all those things. And the Malaysian sanction was meant for that, to put stop to that, and that's what that sanction were put into place to protect
Thank
us
you.
in the
Thank you,
United
Prince.
States. It gave me views
Solicitor
that the
General
United States
and Minister of
government
State is
received
insignificant, I
bribes to
guess.
carry out such action.
Amen.
So
You
government should
refuse
not be
to
under the protection of the
practice
United States.
scrutiny.
Government
Prince.
should park his law and go back to
Right.
Liberia
You
and
shouldn't
be under the
insult
protection
our
of
people
George
by calling them
Weah,
insignificant.
The
rather than
Biden
stay here
administration action.
and
I do
accuse the
hope you
American government
credible.
of
Thank you.
taking bribes to carry
Thank
out
you, Prince.
enforce
Administration.
a law
Also, if
that is
Prince,
uh,
meant to
about
protect the United States
110
you
government.
seconds now.
lists
Thank you.
people,
Thank you.
Why back
credible
again? Bring your
On that
receipt of
note,
listing
I
of
want to say
individuals
thank
that
you
you
so
think
much. I know
need
the
to be given
election is
over to
coming. A
the
lot of
Biden
you,
administration.
a
Can you
lot of
mute
you
Mr.
gonna.
Gaiman? Please mute
All
Mr.
right,
Gaiman.
if again I'm gonna be playing a tape, then I think I should continue my talk. But
Stop
let's
playing
go.
Mr. Gaiman.
Liberia people.